I remember being in college where I saw like videos of it. Never saw anyone do it in person, and I never did this. But like pressurizing alcohol in the bottle,
that was a bitch
so that it would be able to become vapor, and then inhaling that vapor as opposed to.
That's okay. I got one out.
It'll appear
like
randomly through the
diet culture.
Yeah,
They said something about like no calories.
Yeah.
And
Okay, putting that away, opening the
bypass your
alcohol.
liver then if you're inhaling it.
Huh. That'd be interesting.
But I'm sure there were other complications that were the reason why I never caught on. Your lungs don't process that the way your liver does.
It's calm.
Oh, I don't know. Inhaling poison
Inhaling poison?
couldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, no.
No, never.
It's not like the police use that to suppress people or anything.
No, certainly not.
No, I'm fine. I'm just fine. It's just,
If you want to keep chewing, I don't mind. I grabbed them thinking, I want this, and then I'm like,
there's a lot.
I'm full now.
Do you just want to torture
I'll probably eat a
yourself?
little bit later as my stomach.
That's why I'm waiting for break to get more food.
Yep. This was thinking ahead.
Yeah.
But my
Maybe
stomach's
it's
like,
the
no,
Black
now.
Mirror and the interrogation footage.
Black Mirror, not so bad. But yeah, probably the several days in a row of watching like mom and dad don't realize they've murdered their child with carbon monoxide poisoning interrogation. Or,
oh my god.
What did I miss
probably
now?
some of that. I've been at work really into listening to body cam and interrogation videos.
Oh.
And like...
That's oddly specific.
Well, it's all real life and all crime has been committed and they're like investigating it. But like the one today was them doing like a check, like a, what do you call it? The
wellness check?
Wellness check.
Yeah.
And they come in and it's like a trailer that is disheveled, and I mean like junk and clothes and blankets and everything, like they can't hardly walk, right? Type idea.
Sure.
Two parents are obviously on some kind of drug on top of their child, and then they like throughout the investigation learned that they were heating their trailer originally by a propane tank that ran out of propane, and so they started bringing coals into the house.
Oh god.
And the fumes from the coals ended up creating enough monoxide that the child that had been underneath of them had passed.
Yep.
And they had not even realized it because of the drugs that they had taken, or also having monoxide poisoning.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But they both also were still like admitted to.
Did the trailer not have a carbon monoxide detector in it?
Not their trailer. No.
I was gonna say most regular houses people aren't getting carbon monoxide detectors so.
Anymore.
What is that?
This is the dice tower that the DM of my Lancer game made for me. It's only, I don't love it because it's too bulky, but it's where I store my dice.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Do it there. I don't know.
Cool.
It's fun.
Neat.
Speaking of, I was gonna mention. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You were talking about your professor with the same name as or
the other.
at least same, yeah. Reminded me of I started playing another D&D game.
Is that your third one now?
Go on.
Technically, yes. Kids on Bikes.
Oh, fun.
So it's like a Goonies or Stranger Things adventure module or setting. And surprise, surprise, my character has some parent issues. But I decided this time to be a popular girl in high school, which I thought would be a fun change of pace. But then I also came to the table requesting if like there would be anybody else who'd be interested in being a sibling, and found that I'm going to be the annoyed older sister of a karate-obsessed little boy. And
please tell me your character's name is What's Her Face?
It is not. That's great. I didn't even think about that. But we were talking about our parents' names, and we've decided that they're split up, so we live in separate houses, and Mom has taken like a lot of money in the alimony.
What's mom's name?
Blake.
Okay.
Blake Anderson with an E at the end. Dad's name is also Blake Anderson with an O at the end.
Yep.
And that's what made me originally think of that. But
cute.
That's funny.
And I live with Mom due to custody stuff and hate her and like am Catherine, but go by Catherine with a C, Katie with a K, to spite her as much as possible.
Angst. Here for it. Always.
Going for like Claire in Breakfast Club, but with a little bit more of an edgy side, like is
Like
kind
her thing that she can do is more than just putting on lipstick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I did go with flirting for her knack. You get like one knack, and as I could see that coming up in game, or like being able to use that. Anyway,
Fun!
I'm excited for that. Yeah.
No, it's also cute. Alphonse right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't he always?
Adorbs.
Yeah.
I gotta show you this picture I took of him last night. Sorry.
You know you're cute.
It's fine. We're starting early, so.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, really?
How do you think I feel? I have
Yeah,
to
you know
sit
you're
with
cute.
him.
Mm-hmm. You sure do. Showing off.
What's the confidence you have?
Des Moines IPA.
Okay. You're a big IPA fan.
It's about all I'll drink by choice.
Really?
I'll drink any alcohol, but if I have a choice, yeah.
Do you just really like the hoppiness of it, or?
I do. It started off as like a surprise. I was fine with beer, into beer beforehand, but like Deschutes Fresh Squeezed IPA was my first ever, and it's still my favorite. And that citrusy, there's something about that with the bitterness, and then like now I don't feel like I get as much of it because I'm used to it. But that first time having it, that felt like there were spices like in the beer. I like it.
So a couple functional bits as far as gameplay that I want to discuss real quick. 2 spells and 1 sort of functional thing. First is transport via plants, which you have just recently gotten.
That's fun.
It is, so it's kind of a 1 level early teleport spell without the risk. The way that it's written. Officially it reads that you must have seen or touched the destination plant at least once in order to make the connection. However, because it doesn't have the mishap risk of teleport, which is actually even a level later, I'm going to expand on it slightly that the requirement that if you want to establish a point as available to be transported to, you will need to explicitly tell me and we'll play it
with
that,
this plant,
yeah, we'll play it that you must make a connection with the specific plant.
Hey, yo,
So that process would take about a minute of you meditating with the plant, taking in various aspects of it, thereby through your druidic ways establishing the connection to it. I'm also going to add that similar to the way teleport says an associated object has to be taken within the last 6 months, to have the connection to the plant, that connection has to have been established.
There it is.
There we are. You got it.
I was like, come on, get out. Sorry, continue.
Yep. So in order for it to maintain, basically every 6 months you have to renew it. So if you're coming up on it, you could even like do a transport to a place, reestablish that connection, and then transport back.
Gotta show the plants I don't have commitment issues. Got it.
Yeah. But just so like if we're doing time skippy stuff, like there may be some need to reestablish at times. The second one. What I missed there?
Sorry, I was cracking my knuckles because he.
It sounded like he snapped a neck, and it was just.
And I was like, okay, I'm being bad. Stop.
Yeah, I get her a lot of cracking.
Sounds so satisfying and gross.
Hypnotic pattern is pretty heavily discussed online by DMs. And talked about as being massively overpowered, especially combined with the answer part. Instead of nerfing your harp, which I don't want to do, I'm going to slightly adjust hypnotic pattern.
Perfect.
Pretty much all other charm spells specify that if you are fighting the creature that you're trying to charm, they have advantage on the save.
Okay.
For some reason, that language was excluded with hypnotic pattern, and people all of them are like, why did they not include it there? Especially given it's only a 3rd level spell and charm monsters.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that was an oversight and add that requirement back in. So you'll still impose disadvantage on resisting charm effect with your harp.
Sure.
But if you were casting during a fight, they would have advantage, so it would end up being a straight roll.
Sure. Fair.
This allows you to still have the full charm bonus of the harp when not in combat as well.
Perfect.
So, the third thing, Yofina left the Broom of Flying with Anna to fly on it. So if she's going to use it or if somebody else would potentially use it, right now it's in Fate's End, but when we get back to it, to fly on it, you must have a hand on it. So that means that you cannot hold both a shield and a weapon at the same time as flying on the Broom of Flying. You would have to basically stow your shield, which would drop your AC. So I'm basically making that just to try to like level out a little bit. If people are getting an ability to fly, they're going to have some limitations about things that they're going to do. Most of the spell, like this wouldn't really affect you if you were on it, because as a spellcaster, you can have a hand on and you're just doing that, and you don't use a shield. But Anna and Red, and I forget, you don't have a shield, do you?
Nope.
Okay, so I think it's just the two of you. Basically, if you're on the Broom of Flying, you're stowing your shield, so you're going to lose that portion of your AC while you're flying with it. I'm
going to fly backwards. What the fuck, man? It's like
she actually did say, like, case in point, like, if we're sitting still, could I pull my shield back out? And I was like, okay, here's what I'll rule for that. Yes, you can. Like, if you get to a point, so the way this would work functionally is like if you're in combat or something on your turn, if you're not moving, so you've given up all of your movement, you're just sitting in a spot on the room, arguably you could kind of balance and have your shield back out and add that AC back in. However, if somebody attacks you, you're probably going to have to make a
grab save.
Acrobatics. You're going to have to make an acrobatics check to make sure you stay on the broom when you're hit.
Ooh.
I'm going to pull a Harry Potter and just go like whoosh.
I suddenly very interested in this.
Yeah. So, just some things to try to balance out the benefits of flying versus the high AC members of the party that we have.
You know, we used to have a member who could fly.
So you know how, like, with my necklace, we decided that there was a mechanic that, after so much studying with it, you, like, become attuned to it in the way that a paladin could?
Yeah.
Say a character started doing Kegels every evening. Could they become attuned enough with the broom to not require the hand-on?
I don't know why you don't have a shield, so it's not a problem for you.
How are you doing Kegels? That's what I want to know.
In his butthole. Flex those cheeks.
So
imagery. I don't want it in my head.
Yeah, I'm
you
not
can do
happy
taint
that I
Kegels.
asked.
Was there anything recapitulating-wise from session before that you wanted to share?
Yeah. I've got a session and a half.
Okay.
Session 31825, also known as the Forgotten Recap. A new player has emerged.
New challenger.
Vern explained to us that they felt the guild and the magical item registration was ultimately a good thing for the land, but I don't like the idea of those guilds taking our wands. Dahlia squeezed her ball of scrying. We finished eating Lena's stew, which was steamy and delicious. I got recognized by a Fateful Eight fan. Include them in that we were currently trying to stay undercover. Red, Dahlia, and I discussed the registration. I reveal my thoughts on big government. Zav talked with his parents for a bit and shared in the treasures he had collected while adventuring. Red slept naked, and we woke to a breakfast buffet as Zav, Anna, and Veers walked to the marketplace, where they got recognized. We made our way towards the location of the Emporium, and a cloaked figure gestured at us. We entered into a mysterious, seedy, sexy place, where Zav got flirted with, and I became quite flustered by the introduction of Florence.
Sure did.
We learned more of the exchange in power over Asteria and how the King's Guard had aided in Marlborough taking up power.
Marlborough.
Yeah, that Marlborough is out in it.
Marlborough is the name.
Cigarette
That's what I said. Marlborough.
Marlborough. I like that. That's great.
Yeah, he's a giant, ugly creature that spews poison for Phantom Fantasy, right?
Wait. I was thinking the cigarettes.
Yeah, I know you were. It's also the Final Fantasy creature is also called Marlboro. So, funnily enough.
What's the Soul Calibur one with the 3 blades? Just Volio? The mummy-looking one?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, we did some shopping around the Emporium, and Florence was assigned to follow us to learn more of the Upper World's secrets. End of Forgotten Session. 3:28:25. You ain't never had a friend like Anna.
Oh my god. And just like that, we are demonetized. Not that we're demonetized here.
Anna flashed her beaver. Sloth. Florence turned her charms onto the elementals. Anna, Veers, and I got wet.
Yes, you did.
Zav pulled out. Sorry. Tried to pull me off. Jerk me out. Yank me. He failed. Nothing happened. Anna showed us her pussy. Sorry. This font is small. Anna showed off as an octopus. Florence caused the water to vibrate with me inside, and
you should.
Yeah.
End of session. At least for me.
Definitely you.
Oh, you didn't capture how I shoved my sword up the genie's ass at the end of that? Did you?
You were there.
Yeah. That's right. You were gone. That's right. You left before it happened.
You popped out before that.
Well, and I screwed up by making the water run away, and then that screwed up the polymorph.
There was also Dahlia and Zav got caught into a whirlwind, and we're going like up and down, back and forth.
Zav was
freaked out.
Okay, I'm okay.
And then oh my god! At some point, casts Spirit Guardians.
Yes.
So it's just like rushing the Spirit Guardians across the enemies that are nearby.
It was awesome.
That's pretty great.
Oh man, it was a fun fight. Okay, last we left off.
Pardon.
You had just returned to Springbrook after defeating the djinni that attacked you in the woods on your way back from the Cabaret Emporium. Upon the defeat of the djinni, you recovered 2 wands, which you identified as a wand of magic detection and a wand of pyrotechnics.
Ooh.
The Dicker ones.
Oh yeah, I wanted to keep that one to give to you because it sounded like something you would like. It just as fireworks.
You also recovered 2 stones, a potion, a saddle, and the djinni's scimitar. In addition to 22 platinum, 360 gold, 55 silver, and 72 copper. We'll get to the money later.
Nice.
So, as part of that, who took what? Was one person holding it all? I know that Red had the scimitar later, and I think Florence had identified the 2 wands. So I don't know if you held on to both of those for the time being.
I don't know. I think we gave them.
No, we gave the wands and
yeah.
the saddle and
right. Once we got there, but like who? And it's fine. Like if you were just carrying it as one person, that's fine.
Carrying it, it's fine.
Okay, so you when you got to we'll get to that in a minute. So after the fight, found those items along with the body of a young hero the djinni had killed sometime before your arrival.
No, that's right.
You returned to Springbrook with the items and the body. Guards at the gate usher you inside, clearing a path through the crowd and accompanying you to the Adventurers Guild, assisting you with the makeshift sled with the body on it. At this point, we are going to step back slightly for a moment to solidify the identities and histories that we discussed within Sagan all well before this.
Yes.
We did a little bit of this online, but I wanted to come to sort of the final decisions for this. So, Dahlia, the suggestion, and actually let me bring up the map here. The suggestion for you was to go by Dahlia Storm, just because Storm is a very common name, especially for the region that we will be pulling up here. And that you are from Bridgeport. So it's sort of the main trading city to the south of the capital. Red. You had already established that your name was Bluefin Red, with the title of Bluefin of the Dream Scourge.
Yeah.
You also had established that you were from Littleton. That is on the map here. There are Littleton ruins basically noted on the map here. So a little ways.
It destroyed.
Yeah, south from
Gone.
that location.
Rip.
Anna, your alternate identity did not need to be established as part of this because Veers and Anna already had pre-established alternate names, so to speak. But you are known as Anna Grauman, and you are unless you have other ideas to this, was saying that you're from a farming village just outside of Revelor, which is now Malveron. So it's sort of an outskirts of the capital.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just making notes.
Veers also is pre-established. The name in the form that he is in presently goes by Travis Mercer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And has a nickname of Viz because of Travis with a V-I-S. But it's sometimes misheard as Veers, which is how he justifies whenever somebody misidentifies him in company. He is from the capital, Revelor, which is now Malveron. Eric, the suggestion for you was to go with Eric Swordcoast, and to say that you are from Whittle Bay, which is another sort of trading port and processing place down along the coast here, which actually supplies some of the towns further north up through the rivers. Sword Coast was given as another very common name for this area, but I know you were also looking at some other things, so I wanted to see if that was what you wanted to do or if there was something else.
I'm gonna kind of compromise, I think, and still do something that I feel like is in character. Can I go with Eric Cutlass?
I think we can make that work, yeah. So I'll get that.
As both a not doing what I was originally planning, but also a common enough name that pays homage to a fallen friend.
So, the only thing... think about this for a second. The only concern Veers might have with that is that people in Springbrook know of Cutlass.
Further compromise. What if the last name was Utlast?
Okay. So let's take the C off.
Eric Cutlass.
Gotcha. But still good from Whittle Bay for location. Okay. Zav, we discussed a little bit. He is from Springbrook and is, given the size of Springbrook, is known by most people in town. So it's not really possible to create a false identity for him basing out of Springbrook. Additionally, he may want to reconnect with the Inquisitors now that he has returned to Asteria and see what information might be gleaned from that sect of sort of the politic of the day. So keeping his identity as what it is seemed the most appropriate. Unsagan also lets all of you know that you can reach him to get their schedule and availability by using a sending spell. The Cabaret Emporium does sort of traverse through the lands across time, so they will be in different places at different points, so you may have to reach out to contact, both to sort of schedule time to meet up again, as well as if there's particulars to be negotiated or information to be shared with them. So let's see. believe that was everything I wanted to go over for what was there. I do have the notes on some of the questions that were asked. I know Red was asking about the Paladin Guild and what happened in the coup, and specifically looking into Sagamore. Was also wondering if there were other full plate options, which Nsugga is going to look into, but he did give you a warning. Full plate on its own is 1,500 gold pieces, like non-magical gold plate. So getting a magical gold plate would be very, very expensive. So just says he's going to look into the possibilities, but that would take a bit. And I had asked Florence about the Thundering Islands and gotten some info about they've been around for 20 years attacking the caravans. Seems like people are always arriving too late, and for some reason they are unable to be tracked. She also asked about the possibility of some kind of unique familiar. You were shown serpent poison potion. One that was a standard vial and one that was disguised as a healing potion, but I don't think you bought either of them. But those are still available. And Nsugga's looking into the possibility of a poison that can paralyze, preferably with a delayed effect. Eric had asked Florence about the current makeup of the Kingsguard and found that his father is actually head of the Kingsguard for Malvaro. Also, I forget, I'm not sure if you shared or not that the Kingsguard was sort of the ones who allowed Malvaro's army into the city.
I think I kept that.
I think you kind of hinted at it, but
yeah, I don't think I said it outright, but I think pretty much everything got shared.
Okay. Zav had asked for potions of speed, which are available, mind reading, which would have to be attained, and strength, which someone is going to need to look into. Veers had purchased the +1 rapier. And had worked with the group. Veers also covered the cost of everyone's new identities being established. So, I think that was everything from that. So, we come back to Springbrook. Let's let me put this back down.
Ooh, we cute.
Let's stop this.
I didn't mean to do that.
Dolly rolled an 18
didn't
nature
mean
check.
to.
Whoa.
I didn't mean to. How do I get rid of that dice?
You
Okay,
guys
there we
will
go.
eventually.
Yeah, I'll disappear.
Okay. I did not mean to do that. Did it tell you?
Yeah, it shows up on my screen.
Well,
Yeah.
I did not. That is false information.
Fake news.
Oh my god.
Show me. Not at the table, DM.
Huh, what?
She said kill
She
me.
wants
and
to
then she
die
said,
in
"No,
real
no, no."
life, not in the D&D game.
Yes. Preferably.
If you die in real life, you die in the game.
Oh no.
See what I did there?
That's
There's
terrible
There's a
news.
reverse on the normal.
Sword Art Online, what?
Very
But
clever.
you forget. You forget I can come back as a ghost and roll the dice
die
that
in the
way.
game. You die in real life.
Okay. So, returning to Springbrook, and all this discussion happened both in the Cabaret Emporium, and then also was discussed a little bit on the road coming back to Springbrook. Veers also had switched out. He purchased a components pouch and took the pouch that he had purchased together with that lead insert.
Yeah.
And has basically stitched that inside of the components pouch as another layer sort of hidden within there. So we don't have the portable hole in that presently, but it should be a pretty decent way to hold that without people finding it, so long as they're not going through that bag specifically. They wouldn't be able to see it because of the lead container. So you stopped at the gate by the guards who assisted you, took you to the guild. Let's jump down to that. Also, when you enter the guild, so we'll bring you over here. Yep. So at the guild hall, when you all had gotten back, there was an altercation going on at that point as well.
And I mentally bullied someone.
Yeah, there was an individual. I forget if I may have misspoke at the time. It was had a talisman. I think I might have said a dagger at the time, but was reluctant to give up the talisman. Vren was also there keeping back. Basically, they were able to get the person boxed in, and Vren was able to cast the remove curse, at which point the adventurer basically started wilting. Their skin got very taut, dry. They aged and were in excruciating pains, and there was a call for potions, healing, if anyone had greater restoration, things of that nature. After a little bit of time of sort of an up and down of this individual almost dying, Red, I believe you dumped quite a lot of...
yeah, I dumped... What did I...
It was like a lot of lay on hands.
Yeah, it was a lot of lay on hands, but it's not reflected on my sheet for some reason.
Okay. I want to say it was somewhere around 30 points, but I don't...
Sure, we'll just say 30.
Okay, that's fair. At which point, the person still looked very worse for wear, but seemed to stabilize out, and Vren was able to, with some assistance, take this person to the temple for further treatment. But it seems that the person's been saved. After this, Vath, who was also involved, did look somewhat unsettled, and this was the point where Anna decided to get into his head. I forget exactly what you said, something about...
How does it feel watching people suffer knowing you are a part of the problem? Something to that effect. So it's your fault.
So,
Dark's not version.
there were, as you came in to report in, and were brought in by these guards, they sort of introduced. They also brought the body over to Vath, Vren, who took the body as well to the temple and sent another of hers to see if they could find any information on this individual to notify the family. At the guild, the two adventurers, Red, that you would run into before, Vio and Tegnan, I believe, were there. These were two silver adventurers, in addition to a drow who actually, again, I may have misspoke on this, has a platinum.
Oh, yeah, you said gold.
I think I did say gold.
But you did say she was part of the, Adventurers Guild or whatever it was.
Yeah, had the platinum medallion for that. You had shown off the scimitar, and basically it turned out this person was who was supposed to accompany you on this outing that you guys ended up taking care of on your way back.
Yep.
So, Zav actually notices on this individual that there are some additional markings and comes over and asks, "So you're one of the Inquisitors as well?" And the person nods. Alektar Dalael. I'm familiar that this town had an Inquisitor, but they hadn't been here for some time. I assume this is you? And Zav kind of nods back, and they begin conversing over matters of the Inquisitors and everything there. The front desk sort of turns to you, Red, and says, if you could bring the items and everything here. There was also an individual, Stuart, who was called over to begin identifying some of the items, I believe.
That same guy?
Yeah, the guy.
Yeah, that guy.
The little scrawny one.
The little scrawny.
He's very young. Very much think Wart from Sword in the Stone. Robes are way too big for him. Adolescent, voice is breaking on every other word, but he knows just enough magic to be able to do ritual castings of Identify. So you would set down the scimitar,
the two wands, and the saddle.
And the saddle.
And I put my sword down too because I need to register my sword. I guess I don't know if that needs to be separate or not.
Yes. So Vath will come over. Yes, this one already belongs to this adventurer, but we do need to have this examined. Mm-hmm. Check with the others. If there's nothing that stands out, then we can make arrangements with your group as to what has been found here and what you would like to keep and what you may like to have us purchase off of you. Are these all of the items found?
Yes.
Make a deception check.
Long ass pause. Yes.
I can't do a persuasion.
Well, it's not the truth, so it's not persuasion.
What the okay, AI, Gemini AI. What the fuck? Go away. Okay, you said
Breaking my groove.
Intimidation. Not intimidation.
Deception.
Deception.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I persuade you to make a persuasion?
17.
17. Okay. Vath kind of looks to you and then around to the group. As you have just seen, any items that are not identified can sometimes cause major issues. Case in point, and turns to you, the dagger that you had was actually fairly similar to it seems, to the item that we had here. It compounds its connection to you over time. Had you held on to it for a week or two, that could have been you.
Anna just rolls her eyes.
Out of character. What were the other things that? What were the other things that we?
The other items that you had found were the money, stones, a potion. Yeah, I think you set everything else down. Yeah,
stones.
So 2 stones, a potion, and the money.
Do I have all these things, or did any of you take either any of those things? No. Okay. Fine, then I will set down the 2 stones and the potion. Fuck the money. Money is not going to be glitched. I'm going to keep the money.
Okay. All right, so you set those down, and he kind of looks and, thank you. Make sure that these are studied and cataloged. If these items are completely fine and not of great interest to the guild, then you would have first claim upon them. We just need to make sure that everything is safe. So, at the front desk, they sort of call you over while the items are being examined. Stuart sort of pipes up. This will take me a little bit of time, maybe about an hour or so, but I'll get through it as quickly as possible.
Oh, what I can do. I'm sorry. Sorry.
He's going through puberty. Give him a break.
33. No.
Hey!
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry.
God, I'm having a really hard time with this.
So Vath kind of ushers your group over to the main desk.
Am I here?
Not yet.
Okay.
So you all are...
We don't want you flipping in right here anyways.
No.
That'd be a lot of questions.
So, I appreciate you bringing some of the rest of your group. I would like to get an assessment for all of you to get into registration with the guild or some understanding of what your abilities are.
That is up to them. I know Florence is already registered.
And the person at the front desk sort of, may I, and sort of like looks to your crest for the guild. And there's actually some symbols and numbers etched upon these. Okay, Florence and 6'5". Okay, thank you very much.
You're so like, fuck you.
I'm gonna, Stuart, do you need help?
I think that, and Vren kind of turns over. We prefer to let him do the course. We will need some time anyway for other items, but I appreciate the offer.
Understood.
The person at the front desk. So we're crossing off this attacking monster. You said it was a djinni.
A djinn, yes.
And the make a perception check.
Just me, or
Basically anyone who wants to standing around.
My perception.
19.
Hold on. I also have 19.
24.
Jesus. She's very perceptive.
So you all do kind of clock this drow Alektar has taken up a position kind of against the wall nearby but away enough, and
Okay, Strider.
No.
you can see he gives kind of a nod of like, that would have been a fight. So they're crossing that off. As you're looking through this here, most of the rest of the tasks have been taken care of. There is still one listed that is kind of toward where the bottom of the list used to be. This seems to be an indication that there have been some kobold attacks nearby, but that's it that you can see on the list sort of for display. But the person at the front desk kind of looks around to the group. So who are we registering? Whose information should we get here? Looks to Zav and Anna and Dahlia. Okay, can I get your name? And Veer's kind of stuff. She is mostly mute, but her name is Anna Grauman. She has some druidic powers that would need to be tested. I am Travis Mercer, and sort of goes through identities and gives some of background for himself and Anna, and then turns to allow you to make your choice for.
Dahlia Storm. Good for it.
Thank you. Okay, I think we've got the first stuff here. Steve and
Steve.
And Brent says, "Actually, I'll handle this." And Steve kind of looks very. Sure, I'm quite positive. I'm curious of the group. Would like to get some backgrounds and everything, so I will handle this. You can stay here. No skin off my nose. Turns around and heads back over toward his corner where he was whittling on some stuff. If you all wouldn't mind, and he directs over toward the door that would take you down to the basement, the same place where Red you had tested before.
I'll go first.
So it comes over, opens the door for you, and as the group sort of filters down through the door, down the steps, some of you do notice that. Oh, hold on 1 second. There was one more thing. Sorry. When you came over to talk about the djinn, They do ask, and how many elementals were there? With
4.
4.
Fire, earth, air, and water.
Yeah. All 4.
Yes. I'm pretty sure we took like pieces of them, so I can play some pieces.
He kind of looks over, and you actually hear from behind you. If they say there were 4, there were 4. And
Dick.
Red and Dahlia, you would not recognize, but Zav, Veers, and Anna turn around and recognize. What's his name?
Dildo Baggins.
Roderick Bellamere. This is
Roderick.
Yeah, this is the mayor's son who
Rescued.
the group had rescued during
little
the first
shithead.
adventure against.
Zenykul.
Well, it's been like 2 years.
Cult of
Hopefully, he's not a
Zenykul.
little shithead anymore.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised.
and you all notice this individual comes in with a pretty heavy guard, and is kind of dressed to the nines.
Oh, I thought he said he had like a fat guard walking with him.
No, he's got a group.
Got
One
large
singular heavy guard.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what?
Fair enough.
Okay.
He looks like fat bastard.
Sorry, it's the vodka.
So,
God, you just.
and Vath turns, Mayor, and kind of bows toward this individual. So the Fateful Eight returns, and some new members, it seems. Interesting. Veers kind of steps forward. Yes, we've had a few additions to our group, and a few who have moved on. We go by the Fates now. And he turns to Vath. This group they were the ones who saved us from the Cult of Zenykul a couple years ago. This is why Springbrook was not under the yoke of these attacks for the same period of time that most of the other towns were. They've proven their mettle to me, and I trust them. If they say there were 4, there were 4. And they'll kind of bow and nod, make note. The person at the counter does say, in addition to the items, were there any funds recovered? This creature was attacking lots of caravans, so there were some funds reported that were sent out with this. We would like to return those to the families if possible.
Fine, as my paladin self can't resist the fact to be good and honorable, I will place the bag of fucking money on the goddamn table with a chagrin.
Break your oath.
We did note. I have to scroll.
I was daydreaming the other day about like getting to a point where like you can like take revenge on the people who hurt your village, and we like stop him, and I literally will walk away and be like, it's my duty to stop like murder when someone gives up, but if I'm not here, I don't know what happened, and like therefore not breaking my oath.
Badass, I love it. Let's make it happen. You know, if we don't get thrown into prison.
And then I'll be standing there going, "You shouldn't do that."
I'll be like, I'll fucking kill you. Of course, what fun.
And then
I'm
some
going to fucking kill
magical
you.
will make me swing my sword.
No, and then she'll just
Some magic fairy
she'll heat
oath.
metal you, and then while you're burning, just
Mom.
Yeah, and I believe it was like 1,200 was the reward on the djinn, and then 250 each on the elementals, if I recall correctly.
yes, and we had to bring back proof of the djinn, which was the scimitar.
Which was the scimitar, yeah. So you had that. Okay, and they do go ahead and take the funds from you and sort of set their size. Like, these are from the families that had been killed by the djinn, but they count out and provide the reward over to the group. So
Okay.
roughly
LMP.
2,200 gold.
It's just me because you sent me something. It's just me because you sent me something.
Yeah. So I'm doing math for 2,200 divided by the amount of people we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So the mayor kind of addresses you. You've done us a service again. Gone for nearly 2 years and then reappeared to save us from our next great challenge.
Sorry.
I believe it's... Sorry, did you need to...
No. I'm just listening.
And turns to sort of answer. I think it's about time we had another party. Sir, we can afford... It's a celebration. The Fateful Eight have... the Fates now have returned from a mist. We should have a celebration tonight. Rejoin them and...
I think we're perfectly fine with no fan.
Oh, no. I won't hear of it. And
I think we should have a
I'm
party.
gonna, as he's saying that, I'm going to mentally just try and like create this eerie, high-pitched sound in his mind. Is that like, it's like a tinnitus.
Oh,
thing.
in Roderick's mind? Yeah. Is he? No, of course we'll have some kind of... He's like swatting like he's got a gnat or something in his ear. Of course, we should have a celebration though, for all of you.
That's how you brought more
And
jealousy.
kind of looks around a little bit,
No.
and then I'm trying to remember from so long ago. Did you ever speak to him when we rescued him from the cult?
Because he's human, and at that point I was severely racist.
Oh, are you not still?
Let's be fair, you're still severely
You know,
racist.
like it's humans, live stream, humans. We all suck. We can all agree about that.
He does, however, kind of turn to Veers and kind of raises his eyes, but then just kind of nods to him. And Veers nods back. I don't think it could hurt. And Veers turns to the group. Sounds like the town could go with a party at this point.
I don't trust it.
A party?
You're unfortunately still not here yet.
All of a sudden, poof, a party?
Not yet. But no, it's so wonderful to have you all back. I do need to go get to planning, and sir, everything will be handled. It'll be fine. I have some ideas for who to call and everything, but we'll see you in a few hours. We'll set up in the town square. He turns, and the guards sort of like go to move with him, and he still is kind of swatting at his ear every so often, a little bit, like something just won't leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
So, coming back to taking the gold, distributed the gold to you, taking care of that. Now you're heading down the stairs together with that. As you move to go down the stairs, you do notice that Alektar moves toward the steps a little bit, and Vath actually steps over to him and whispers something to him, sort of puts his hand up, and then turns to join, following down the stairs with you, and shuts the door behind him. So it's just Vath coming down with the group downstairs.
That's weird. That's suspicious. High ping. Okay.
So, as you get to the stairs, would any of you prefer to demonstrate first just some of your abilities, what you're capable of? Please.
And it's just gonna awkwardly step forward to whatever the target thing is.
And yeah, there are some like dummies with armor on them, from the same as what was described before with red. And it's kind of a long room. It's completely open for the bottom of this entire building. So
she's just going to use a first level ice knife spell.
So go ahead and roll the attack. Well, that is an attack roll, or is that
Hold on, I'm just trying to remember. And you added to with the spellcasting modifier, right?
Yeah.
So mine would be wisdom because I'm a druid. 7.
Okay. They are stationary dummies. So the ice knife hits the dummy, however, does not seem to penetrate the armor.
I'm just going to look to the people and just so.
Is that the extent of your abilities as far as power levels? Are you able to do some healing? Anything to add?
She's going to do a cantrip poison spray. Is that it?
And so the poison spray goes out, and you do see this sort of like speckling across the armor of it. And Vath actually does a spell of his own. It's just this like small gust to like push the poison spray to the other side of the room. Interesting use of this. And Veers does kind of lean forward and kick it up a little bit. We all need to be at the same level.
And she just lets out a sigh. Fine. Without warning, she just lets out a sigh and you just hear nothing but and then cone of cold just out of nowhere.
And so as you're all sort of like leaning back, and Vath is kind of like watching this, and you can see this slightly perplexed look on his face of like, she was with them when they fought a djinni? And all of a sudden there's just this of like ice and shards across the room, crushing several of the dummies at once. And he kind of jumps back. Look! Oh, okay. That is more in line with expectations, if not actually a little more so. Impressive. Veers kind of steps forward and
Waddle.
walks over to...
And she waddled away.
Walks over to one of the dummies and draws out his rapier and kind of holds it steady at the dummy for a second. And then there's a flourish of attacks. And if you're watching, each of the attacks is sliding in under and around the weak points of the armor in rapid succession from him. Yeah. He then steps a little ways back and draws out a real dagger and sort of shifts the cloak off of his shoulders, widens his stance, and then with an excessive power throws toward the...
It doesn't count.
Yeah. And the dagger decapitates and takes the head off of the dummy from across the room.
Cute.
Impressive show of swordplay and knife skills. He turns sort of nods to you, Dahlia.
I want to use my fireball.
So it would be difficult to ignite a fireball in this room and not have some of it splash back on the
Okay,
group.
so maybe not that. So maybe not that.
Yeah.
Damn! I love using fireball. Okay, I am going to...
While you were considering, Veers also leans over to tell Vath that Anna also does have some low-level healing abilities as well, and just informs him of that. But
Lightning bolt. with that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. That is 8, 6. Yeah. Oh, perfect. I'm just gonna use these.
Well, there's only 6 there. You need 2 more.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking 6. Yeah. Okay. I was switching those. Okay, so I have to add all these.
That was Veers, who went right before.
Let me. $32.
So you see, actually, after Veers does his attack, the mannequin head stays on the ground for a few moments and then kind of magically repositions and reseats itself. You move over. Sorry. The cat just like moved up against the thing, and so I was seeing the camera like wobble back and forth. I was like, what is going on?
Wobble, wobble.
God damn it.
It's okay.
So when it repositions, you actually sort of move over to the side for your lightning bolt, and there's a set of like 4 of these dummies in a row, and you strike through, and it blasts actually pieces off of many of these dummies all the way through toward the line. And he nods at that as well. And after a few moments, they also start to like piece back together into their positions. He also turns to Zav, who, don't know his spec sheet off the top of my head.
He does some random
Just makes
healing
that
shit.
giant warrior dude stand there.
And it just goes through the ceiling.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, Zav does explain that he has, a considerable amount of healing capabilities, and also does some basic offensive attacks. Equipment, spells. And you actually see him do a guiding bolt, very similar to how you saw, some of you saw in one of his flashbacks. He outcasts this to a higher level and crashes through the dummies with that. So impressive. I think that with your having been there and being able to vouch for their capabilities, what I've seen here and knowing the enemy that you have defeated, I think it's easy to say we can rank all of you as gold level. You've done a great service to the people by defeating that monster. The mayor also vouches for you. And while he's not... And he kind of pauses for a second. He's not maybe the brightest of leaders that I have interacted with. I have found him to be one of the most genuine community leaders I've known in regard to caring for his people. So it does speak highly of you that he recalls you. Additionally, Vren speaks highly of many of you, especially you, and he turns to Zav. So, juxtaposing that with some of our interactions thus far, and he turns to look at you, Red. I'm left in a conundrum. Because you obviously haven't been entirely forthcoming. And it is my job.
Eyes.
It is my job to identify potential threats. Therefore, I must ask, who are you really?
Can I try and persuade him and just say we are who we say we are?
As you begin to open your mouth, he kind of puts a hand up for a second. I don't need to know your true names. I understand some have reasons for keeping identities private. But what is your purpose? Are you genuinely trying to do good? I will admit I no longer suspect you that you might have been in league with the Cult of Zenykul. But I still need the affirmation from you directly. And here
Okay.
you can roll your persuasion.
I will say, I am what I appear to be, a paladin who once served under the Duchy of Terran. Upon returning and realizing that he no longer is here, I am trepidatious to reveal any of myself, for fear of reproach for personally working under the Duchy now that a new leader is around. That is a 25.
Okay. And he listens very intently and kind of nods. I can appreciate a lot has changed for you. You especially. I heard that you've been gone some almost 20 years. He kind of pauses and kind of narrows his eyes for a second.
Great.
And then sort of lifts his head. The rest of you, many of you have been gone for almost 2 years, it sounds like. A lot has changed here. Do you understand, does your group understand what has happened here while you've been gone? And that while this process may seem strict, it is what has allowed us to save the most lives. Veer just kind of steps forward.
I was gonna say, like, I can't talk.
Veer just kind of steps forward. I appreciate that you seem understanding of Red's position. I would say it is similar for several of us. Some of us knew of the Duchy or had interactions. Some of us did not. Some of us did not particularly like the Duchy. But this new emperor is new to us. This process is new to us. Where we've been, there's been quite a bit of subterfuge and half-truths. We're just getting the lay of the land. But to answer your question, everything we have done as a group has been toward doing good. We're just not sure on what side of things yet this leadership and process fully stands. He kind of looks around the group. Where have you been for the past 2 years? And at this question, there is a swelling of energy. And Eric, you
Oh no.
appear
Oh fuck.
about 4 feet up in the air, holding your breath.
Oh, I was going to say I spit water out.
Yeah, and as you appear, you crash down to the ground and start like packing water. And he does sort of step back.
Axes in both hands, for sure. Yeah.
Biting the water with your ass.
I sucked into the water mid-combat.
It's just funny.
It's like trying to swim.
What the hell? And he kind of looks at you for a second. It's like,
You're back.
Yes.
and you do the same as you sort of get the recollections after the fact.
We're so
Oh,
boned.
yep.
All of what has happened in the in-between does come to you.
Can I make an insight check to see if these guys are freaked out by this at all? Like, I don't know what's happening.
Go ahead. Does anyone want to try to conceal it?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I'll do it. I'll have fun with it.
I'm just trying to
Also,
like
just
get
like,
it without, or maybe I'll cast sending because I did not do well. I think.
What do you want?
Is it deception for concealing?
Yeah, if you're trying.
Yeah, I got a 10.
I had a +4.
So I
21.
Okay. You look startled by this as well. You kind of react like, whoa, what happened here? Kind of thing. Convincingly.
Because I'm trying to cover for you guys. Okay. I look surprised then. I don't know what's going on.
Yep. Where were you all? What that and he kind of points to, that wasn't teleportation magic. How did you get here?
Eric Cutlass. What's the name of the place?
He's like,
Tullis Harbor. Temporally charmed and temporary charming.
And he kind of slowly reaches out and takes your hand. I recall you from before.
Yes, I'm this one's ward. Squire.
And he kind of looks over. I think we're past all of this.
Let me put it this way. In their travels that they went on years ago, they unfortunately got somehow connected in time and now randomly blip out of existence every now and then come back to each other.
He kind of looks, and Veers kind of steps forward. We were in the Feywild. We were attacked by a group of hags. And there's some residuals of the magic that they put upon us that causes us inconvenience, as you have witnessed.
But it's not a curse. Emphasis of curse.
Well, Florence is delighted to hear that.
So, Vath kind of looks around the group. I suspect you were lying, but that wasn't a teleport. You really just came into existence here.
Yep.
And you can see there is sort of, for any of you sort of watching, there is sort of a flash of magic kind of behind his eyes slightly. So he has been checking for various magics in this interaction.
As I said, temporally charmed. Temporarily charming.
Fair, he's with us the whole time, partially.
If there's one thing I know about this group of people from my hour with them, it's that they're not good at lying.
Thanks, Florence.
What's happening?
You're going to register your abilities.
Oh.
We all already did.
Oh. Okay.
I'll handle the communication with the front desk. It shouldn't be an issue. We can explain that you were delayed and came in after the fact. I'll make it work. For the moment, let's, if you wouldn't mind seeing some of your abilities. And during this time, Veers has kind of navigated around the group to be closer to you. Mm-hmm. And as he does say that, you hear in your ear, no psychic weapons.
Am I psychically connected to anyone currently?
No. Or I'd say it would say no psionic daggers.
I do a small nod, but then I lean in. Am I holding back or am I showing off?
Make a stealth check for me.
18. You do, in fact, sort of subtly lean back toward him. You actually make a show of starting to get ready to do things, turning so that your opposite side that my
was
bonded axes come into hand.
Is for him, and you're kind of like looking at thing, prepping, and you place the axe up by the side, and you say this to Veers, who is the only one who hears. Everyone else is Does not pick it up with the possible exception, I think, of Florence, who might have enough of a passive perception to beat that.
Not an 18, no.
Not an 18? Okay. So, show him what you can do.
Eric gets a smile on his face.
Oh boy.
Does a backflip.
Yeah.
Or let's say like cartwheel front into a front handspring type move.
Please roll that one. Please roll that one.
Oh damn! Wait, I brought beer. It's like fine. Well, I'll go with it. 14.
14. You're actually pretty skilled at this, and it was mostly just to make sure that you didn't like full bungle like a nat 1 on it. And that does actually like take a step back at the sudden springiness of your actions.
I, at that moment, fire off a... Oh. Well, wait, quick question.
Yeah.
If I call forth... Well, my Raven Flame Blade, that's just an... but that's a magical item that I haven't necessarily shown off.
And you probably wouldn't have that item, because we haven't gone back to Fate's Inn yet.
Okay.
So you'd have the new axes that you got at
Yeah, the plus
cabaret.
1 axes or whatever.
And you would have your ability to firebolt.
Okay. Which that's what it's based off of, or at least the Psychic Fire Dagger was the Firebolt.
Yes. Veers was just telling you don't do it as a psionic.
Yeah,
Do
right.
this.
So, how many dummies are there?
There are 8 total, but they're grouped in like 4 and then 2 and 2.
Okay. I will throw a Firebolt at one of them on one side of the 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to throw my axe after that in the other direction. So, Firebolt first. That is where I will use my inspiration. That wasn't at 1.
Oh.
I'm not going to roll the same die.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay. 16.
16, yeah. And these are stationary dummies, so they're not hard to hit. But
Do I roll damage?
if I'll leave it up to you. The firebolt would do, sort of a standard amount of damage, but if you wanted to get sort of a specific idea of what you did.
Yeah, let's see how this was or not. 14 fire damage.
Okay. Yeah, some pieces, really from like the shoulder and the left arm down, do spring off from the attack.
And then having landed and cast that, I'm going to do a one-handed, like basically like a one-handed handspring or like a one-handed somersault, actually, in the opposite direction towards the other dummies before firing off my axe.
Okay. And this all holds with your already established
14.
Acrobatics.
Okay. All right.
It's all sort of on the same turn.
So then I throw my +1 hand axe at this other dummy, which will be a 21.
Oh yeah. So you're able to like very specifically target on this dummy. Is there a specific point that you want to strike?
I like to think that it lands in the dummy's head, like right between the eyes.
Okay.
And then there's just a moment before the head like fully rolls back, like off of the stand.
Cool. All right.
And then I call forth my axe back to my hand.
Oh, impressive.
Thank you. I kind of roll my shoulders a little bit and crack my neck.
You're definitely a very interesting group.
I didn't hear a rating.
I believe you are a similar capability to your compatriots. So you can
gold. Nah. Okay.
I do find it interesting. Many of you said you were in the Feywild. You've dealt with the machinations and subterfuge and issues that happen there, but yet you haven't been checking your items for magic. You pick things up without identifying them. You put yourselves, and by extension others, at risk. I say this not as admonishment, but to help you all to understand what we are doing, what we are here for, is to provide services to try and keep as many people safe as possible. The individual that you saw when you came in, I've seen far too many like that, and it's greatly unfortunate when the removal of a cursed item from an individual causes pain and risk of death like that. But it is best that it happened here. If he had been in the wilds, or if it had gone longer still, he would be gone. Whereas being here and being able to provide what we can to him, he should make a recovery.
The fact that you've seen that many cursed objects is what bothers me. In my time, cursed objects were a rarity, and them being so common, there's got to be an issue with that, which we are more than willing to help with.
Now that's an issue all of us should be concerned about.
I agree.
But who do you answer to? I'm going to pause this for a second.
Who do you serve? What do you want me to say? You want me to say Jesus?
Kind of pause this for a second. Officially, I am a part of the Adventurers Guild that reports to the Vanguard. I am employed by the Vanguard as keeping safety within Springbrook. I am the leader of the detectors. You've probably been aware that there are individuals who roam through the town searching for undisclosed magic items, that sort of thing. This is not so much about taking or keeping things from people. It is about discovering, in many times, instances where people have a magical item they are not even aware of, and he gestures again to you. It is about discovering these things before they can cause further damage. In the early days, when the cult was attacking villages, this was the main line of attack. These cursed items would crop up. Sometimes children out playing would pick them up and bring them into towns. And they could wreak havoc. They would shift the mindsets of the people that were using them, make them far more aggressive, sometimes make them even harm their loved ones.
Who does do I know who the Vanguard answers to? Like, is the Vanguard a separate entity from the actual capital?
I think they work for Mervalo.
Yeah. Vanguard was initially Malvaro's army that he sort of formed up after he left.
Excuse me, but we're not children. And to confiscate items to put into service of this new
dude
dictator?
He kind of breathes for a moment.
Your candidness has been appreciated, and therefore I feel as if you have some kind of integrity. You have to understand that this notion of handing over powerful things to a force that no one elected doesn't feel right.
Nobody elected the duchy.
Well, no qualms with that sentiment, but
I don't disregard your sentiment on this. Please understand, I have some of my own misgivings and hesitations. That said, Emperor Malvaro and the Vanguard came to the rescue of the people, as they see it. He is,
we like it.
he is well supported.
This is the Vath guy, right? That scryed on her, or somebody different. I can't remember.
So you believe that he scryed. He made a point of saying that she was very strong-willed to you.
Mm-hmm. I think we're telling him too much. If I get a sense that this person will turn on us, I will not hesitate.
I would hesitate.
Who are you saying this to?
Him.
Just him.
Can all of us hear that?
No, she's just talking to
Who are
me.
you saying this to?
I think she's talking to me.
Okay, just to...
Because I'd be like, I will join you. Because I don't trust this dude.
I do have my own questions about the confiscation of the legendary items. My concerns there. That being said, the vast majority of items are left with the adventurers. And from what the group of you have brought back, if nothing else, I would highly suggest you keep the wand of magic detection and make use of it. While it would certainly be of benefit to us, it may help to prompt you to protect yourselves. I agree with you. This level of cursed items is highly concerning. This is something that was happening before Malvaro and the Vanguard came around. It is the best option we have come to protecting people. Before there was this order, and our status of detecting for items like this, it was chaos. And I will say you should count yourselves lucky to have not seen it personally. And if anybody would like to roll an insight on that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Roll one.
Insight. Oh my god.
That's a dirty 20.
19.
18.
15.
15. You don't quite pick up on this, Eric. The others, the way he says this, something about seeing people attack each other, seeing individuals attack loved ones, as he's saying, swims across his memory as he's saying this, and there's a slight shudder. You get the sense that genuinely things were very chaotic. It was very tumultuous, a very bad time. And that while he doesn't particularly like the very strict structure of this and wish it wasn't necessary, he prefers this to the chaos that ensued before, because people were dying, and he has seen more people saved this way. For myself, my concern... Sorry. Okay, good. For myself, my concern is that this is not sustainable. The duchy had significant funds in the treasury, but Malvaro and the Vanguard are spending funds faster than we are taking in. My hope is that the point of all of this is to push back, to find the central source of this curse, this Magi's curse, and to put an end to it before that happens.
You're saying the Vanguard and Marvolo are bleeding funds?
Keeping this large of an army and funding adventurers' guilds in this way costs a lot. And the taxes are not high enough to sustain the current level of output. There is obviously some buffer for the present time. My hope is that that buffer is enough to finish this and get things back to normal before those funds run out. If that does not happen, I worry that there will be a raising of taxes. And I don't know what the citizenry, how the citizenry will fully react to that.
Life imitating art, or art imitating life here. Jesus Christ.
Are there others that feel the same as you?
He squints his eyes towards you a little bit. I hope that you understand that even my revealing my trepidations to you is showing quite a bit of trust. I do believe that you all are here to do good.
Eric, he didn't answer the question. Ask it again.
Are there others that feel the same distaste for leadership as you?
There are. I will not yet reveal them to you. It is my position to reveal myself. It is not my position to reveal others. The most that I risk here is my decommission in revealing my trepidations to you. But I will not risk others yet. Your actions make me want to trust you, which is why I've put myself at risk.
Let me ask you this then. What would you have us do? You have adventurers that you assign out jobs, but the underlying issue is still there, cursed objects.
And a growing tyrant.
I do not know for certain that we are dealing with a tyrant. Malvaro could genuinely be what he professes himself to be. That said, I would prefer to get to the ends of things sooner than later. The Adventurers Guild provides the information that it can for jobs that are available for people with the skill levels capable of doing them. It is not, as you say, doling out or requiring people to go on these tasks. All of it is voluntary. Adventurers can traverse on their own, do what they like. That seems like it may be more fitting to your style. Feel free between the towns to use your registrations to find jobs in the in-between. These jobs may lead you to more information about what is going on. At the same time, the Adventuring Guild is dealing with some of the monsters and from time to time encountering the Cult of Zenykul. The Vanguard is specifically tasked with trying to root these out, and there has been progress in that regard.
What about the wastes?
Sorry.
The that large area that you said was like not really being controlled by Marvolo?
Oh, one second.
Badlands, wetlands.
Yeah, it's the Dreadmoors.
The Dreadmoors. If Marvolo has such a large force of Vanguard, why doesn't he just send them out there to try and root out everything that seems to be most of the bad coming from there?
There are members of the Vanguard that are currently in task within the Dreadmoors. It is a very, very large area. Even with as large of a force as we have, we can't cover all of it. Veers steps forward at this point. You asked us... Well, we asked you, and then you asked us what was next. He kind of turns and looks to Anna for a second. We're interested in finding and putting an end to the Thundering Irons. I believe that might be quite significant means to convince some of the others that I know who have trepidations of introductions. They tend to move about the Dreadmoors, but nobody has ever been able to track them down. The most recent reports I've had have put them closer to Greyspire, but that was a couple weeks back. Any more information I get, I will pass on to you readily.
Is there any connection between them and the current? Really?
The Thundering Irons have been around for 20 plus years.
Would I know anything about the Thundering Irons with my history?
They were becoming a problem just before your time of leaving. It had just... Their raids had just started at that point, but they weren't... They were just seen as another sort of general nuisance raiding group at that point. Nobody had really taken high notice of them as of yet.
We have a lot of things to think about, and apparently you missed it. Apparently you saved the mayor's son a while ago. Well, he's the mayor now, and he's throwing us a party.
Roderick. Party.
Must we?
Yes.
I just realized that dude doesn't know I can talk mentally, and he just heard him go, "Yeah, Roderick?" Yes. Just randomly looking at me without me saying a fucking word. And I'm just going to leave it.
Yeah.
Vath does kind of look to her, and then kind of shakes his head.
Well, now that our abilities are mostly registered, are we free to be ourselves?
Be yourself.
For the most part. I mean, you still need to register your magical weapons that you have on you. And we're waiting on mine to get registered and returned to me. I'm not sure how long that'll take.
Or what I really mean is, when we go to this party, are we free to be the Fates?
Yes. I still wouldn't use your last name, but...
I don't think I've ever dropped it before.
Gotcha. Yeah. The new mayor, the son, made a big boast of calling you, or us, the Fateful Eight when he first saw Zab and Anna.
Excellent.
So, and he's aware that we're called the Fates now, so I'm sure he's spreading it throughout the town about the party, so there's no use in trying to hide anything.
Well, then I, for one, look forward to it.
So, Vath does kind of turn to you both. As I said, I won't press for real names at this point. If you are who you say you are, and wanting to do good, especially if you are able to achieve a desire of ridding us of the Thundering Irons, I hope that one day we can properly introduce ourselves to each other, but I will not press for your identities at this point.
Is there anything else you need from us, or are we free to go?
We'll make arrangements to register your weapons. I appreciate your candor. I appreciate the mutual trust established here. I hope you understand and will keep my trust as well.
We see you at the party.
It would be impertinent for me not to make an appearance.
It would be very important.
Impertinent.
Impertinent. Don't even, don't, no.
That's what Eric said.
So he turns and leads the rest of you back toward the stairs.
As we're about to go up the stairs, I'm going to turn to you and say, I understand your want to save lives, but at what point is a person's life worth more than their freedom and free will? At some point, you're no longer living. You're just surviving.
And with that, we should take a break.
Actually, I will. We'll call break right there.
Okay.
Sorry, that was such a solid
We'll
fucking.
come back to that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like.
Nope, take it.
I was like, I have to write this down, or else I'm not going to remember what I hit.
Well, I was wondering what you were writing. I was like,
Hold on, I got a really good lick. Hold on a second.
what are you writing?
Woo, that
Writing
I forgot I have popsicles in the freezer.
Popsicles.
Yeah, strawberry and mango. Not together. I mean, like 2 different kinds. I use them before and after choir.
To your walrus. It could be.
What?
Okay. So,
You walrus them.
can you say that again?
Oh, fuck.
If you walrus them.
That's,
Could have-
We'll come right back to
it's just
that
thinking,
moment.
it's like he's gonna repeat exactly what he just said.
Here's my notes.
It's a good thing he wrote it down. See if he remembers what he said.
I understand your want to save lives, but at what point is a person's life worth more than their freedom and free will? At some point, you're no longer living. You're just surviving.
And he pauses at the stairs and doesn't even turn around to face you, but just stands there for a moment. Finding that line is the question. And he continues up the stairs. When he gets to the top and opens the door, just next to the door, Alektar is still standing there. And he walks over to Alektar, places a handsome on the shoulder, says a word, and Alektar nods and goes to leave. So, as you return back upstairs...
Before we do.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple things.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't like the whole guild thing. Say what you will about protecting people and taking magical items. Something feels not right about taking the most powerful magical items and it all being sponsored by somebody who recently led a coup and is being led by the Kingsguard. And you know how I feel about the Kingsguard. And Eric makes a look specifically towards Veers. Mm-hmm. Also, he did make some points, and I'm pretty nervous and feel like we should use that wand of magical detection on just everything we fucking have.
Is Vath still here?
I will say this. So you wanted to have this conversation before going upstairs. After Vath had said, finding that line is the thing, he continued up, but he gave you all a moment. He waited at the top of the steps to give you all a moment to discuss, noticing that you hadn't followed.
I assumed we were in private.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll say he sort of understood, like, after how heavy a conversation just happened, he's not going to, like, leave because then that's going to, like, start a whole cascade of things. So he's going to wait at the top of the stairs, but he's like, I'll step away to let them talk for a minute.
You've all been in the Feywild for the past 2 years.
More like a week in the Feywild?
We were there for about 10 days, Veers says to you. He's been gone 20 years. We're not sure how long he was actually there because he was frozen for a good part of the time.
Okay. Well, you all left before the government change happened.
Oh, for
Yes.
sure.
You're very quick to make assumptions and decisions about things without any information.
What do you mean? Without information?
You've been gone for what you think is it's been 2 years. People are dying.
We lived here beforehand. We understand how government was working.
But you weren't here for the worst of the curse. And I think
The worst of what curse?
you guys know. The one he's talking about, the curse of the Magi.
Curse of the Magi, yeah.
There was a huge surge of cursed magical items.
And now forgive me. This might, and I'll be the first to admit that occasionally I misunderstand things. but I feel as if we have a certain perspective that allows us to view the timeline in a way of, doesn't it seem convenient? There was a magical surge of cursing, and suddenly power comes in to help everybody and coups the current government. And again, not for the duchy, but also for the Kingsguard to maybe pave the way. All seems underhanded. And this coming from somebody who was attempting to rise to the highest rank of Kingsguard. I've learned...
That's new information to you, by the way.
To me.
Yeah, that's new information to you. That he was trying to rise through the ranks of the Kingsguard.
This family has widened my perspective.
You have to understand, Florence, even though we've been together a short time in our eyes, and that time has passed much faster here, the things that we remember from this time, or from this place, were not so easy to just assume the best. We've seen the worst, and we are going to go about it ensuring that we don't get caught up in it, because there are people here who likely want us dead. I'm sure there's people who I've even that are still there after the duchy that want me dead. People want Eric dead. We don't really like to talk about our personal lives here, but
I'm not from here, but it still doesn't feel good on what's happening. I've seen power struggles.
But
You're just gonna step forward for a second. I'm of a split mind on this. To your points, the people who wanted you dead or imprisoned wanted that before Malvaro was ever on the scene, before the Magi's curse was ever a thing. The duchy has no love from pretty much anyone in this group. At the same time, by my very nature, I don't trust governments, and I certainly don't trust this self-appointed emperor.
it's alarming how fast he became. Because I remember him from my time.
It does. That is another side of the coin. It does sound as though this is someone who served the duchy for a long period of time. And then when the Magi's curse came along, he felt that the duchy was either not doing enough or was actually involved somehow in this and orchestrated this overthrow.
Sorry, keep going.
Presuming for a second there's any possibility of that being genuine. Things being as bad as Florence has described, and as Vath has described, with the madness and families killing themselves and everything, the desire to have order is very powerful.
I'm not going to pretend like I think everything is all perfect with the new administration, but for you to dismiss the suffering of the people that has been happening for the past 2 years in favor of having some magic items is really troubling. I studied with wizards. They're all gone. They all left. But somebody had to do something.
They all left?
Wizards are...
Many of the wizards, fearing the sense of the Magi's curse being fomented toward them, many wizards fled.
I've seen horrible things in my time, And I can't begin to know what it's like to live with what they say has happened what you say has happened the past 2 years. I can only go with what I see right now.
That, I think, is the point. We were here for the before and we were here for the after, and those two seem horrendous to us. And there is some truth to them being horrendous. But how we got from point A to point B is entirely about this middle that we weren't here for. We don't know how bad it was and how desperate people were. I think we need to find out the true intentions of some of these people. I think we need to find our own way, so to speak. But we need to be mindful about how things got here, why people were willing, or eager even, it seems, in many cases, for things to turn this way. For the comfort, for the safety it provided. Even if some of our suspicions are correct and there is something more nefarious going on here, it's going to take some convincing to get the public turned around on this idea, given what they've been through.
We have to find the source of the curse. Only then will we be able to know where we are wrong and where this world is wrong.
And Veers looks to you. As to your concern about the guilds, I wouldn't necessarily choose to utilize them readily. But as with all government entities, they can have their uses to us. I think if there's coin to be made off of dispatching enemies we would dispatch anyway, let's make the coin.
I'm torn on all of it.
I understand, and I would be trepidatious similarly about
2 weeks ago,
but it wasn't.
I wouldn't have felt this way. You told me. You asked where my allegiances lie.
Yeah.
And now we're just handing it back over?
I hand over nothing. I'm using them.
Joining the guild is a means to an end. It's there so that they can make sure that we're in check. But we can go about where we want to, like Vath said. We can go adventure on our own if we really want to. We can go investigate what we want to. Having the badges just means that when we enter a town, we're not going to be questioned as much as we were when we initially came here.
Something we agree on.
Well, if we're going to use them, then why don't we use them? Why don't I go forward as Blade Strike?
If you think that's best, it's an option. For the time being, I thought it would be better to avoid drawing attention. I did not mean for that to be permanent.
Can I do a history check or something to see if I know what that is?
Blade Strike?
Yeah.
You would definitely know because Blade Strike is the last name of the captain of the guard.
Gotcha.
So that would also be, I think, new information to you that this is the son of the captain of the King's Guard, or the Emperor's Guard in this case now.
So wait, do we know that his dad is the captain of the guard? Did we find that out?
I think because it's been, you've seen the history through the flashbacks when you were in the Feywild. I think you revealed most of it to the group. I'm trying to remember
Well,
if there's anything
then
you
I'll
held
also
back.
just, if we are going to use the system, my father serves as Malvaro's second-hand man.
But didn't you say that you and your father don't get along?
No. But that wouldn't be common knowledge. Only the name would be. It could grant us some kind of either credence or authority or clearance in some case. Or at some point.
And you look over, and Veers has this smirk looking at you. Here I thought I'd have to convince you of that over the next few days and weeks. You're already there.
So, Veers, you think it's a good idea?
Everything in its place and time. I don't think we should drop the name Blade Strike on a whim. I think it's a very, very powerful tool that we hold on to until we need to use it. And then when we need to use it, we do. But it's your name. You get the final say on that.
Very well.
I find no better use for it.
I would keep it for now. Well, when the time comes for it to make its most powerful impact, I think it'll be obvious.
I have to say, with all of that, the knowledge that comes from my history, if the Kingsguard had a hand in placing this new leader, I don't trust them. I understand keeping people safe, and I understand that not everything is black and white or a dichotomy. I think we should all be wary.
I agree. Even in my time, the Kingsguard was not the most favorable. They clashed with the Paladins often. And the fact that the Paladins are still there leads me to believe that the Paladins may even be under not good influence, which is why I was asking about my friend and where his whereabouts were. He may be able to inform us about what's happened.
From the pub before you...
Yes, Sagramore. If he's still with them, then we can maybe either trust the Paladins, or at least he's there to make sure they're in check. And if he's not there, he can at least tell us what happened on the front lines.
Having seen your history with your father, I don't need even the faintest hint that they might have had something to do with this. I never would have trusted them. I trust you and your intentions.
I need not be accusatory. Where are your allegiances?
You're asking me?
Yes, he's asking the two of you.
I think he's asking everyone at the table, yes?
Well, I think he knows ours.
Okay.
Out of game here. I feel a little intuitive
Okay.
as to
So specifically
the other
Florence
three.
and
Murder, justice.
And
Thunder
I guess that either in game or out of game
I
or
serve no
somewhere in
person.
between.
No man.
I'll save it. I'll try to do it in game.
So specifically Dahlia and Florence, you're asking.
I want to do what's right.
You are from this realm. But
She doesn't know. She is her whole memory is existing in the Feywild from when she was a little
I
child.
wish I could tell you I was from this realm, but that I don't know.
I don't say this to say that you owe us anything, but we tried to do right by your world, your people. And if you're from this one, you've seen what we try to do. I'm not always the best judge of anything.
No.
Did you say that?
I
in
followed
character?
you all for a reason.
Yes.
I came with you all for a reason. My allegiance is here.
Zav, I think, would say, my allegiances are similar to hers. I want to do good. I want to protect my town and my people and my family and my parents.
Zav. We're your family.
Gonna give Dahlia a big pat on the back.
You are my new family, but my parents are here. They're alive, and I want to keep them that way.
We do too. Because they're our parents.
So you understand why I need to be careful. I'm with you, but I can't bring them into danger. I need to be careful. And I trust that Dahlia feels the same. She's trying to do the right thing here, figure out what the right thing is. We both have a sense that something's wrong here, but we don't have any evidence yet.
I agree with that.
We need to be careful.
I've been seeking the truth for my whole life. I don't feel like any of us have it. My allegiance is to other people who are doing the same. Is that you?
Depends if your truth is what is it to you versus what it is to the world.
I would argue truth is irrelevant. Because I thought I understood it. And my truth was changed. We try to do what's right.
Is that not the same as... Is that not as changeable as your idea of the truth?
Truth has an absolutism. Right allows for gray.
Interesting.
I would say what's true for one person can be a lie for another.
What's right to one person is wrong to another.
Truth in itself does not exist. It is only the opinions that persist.
We're arguing about the same things.
Like a pilot from Jesus Christ Superstar. What is truth?
You're
It's
telling
the
me-
same as mine. Sorry. Anyway,
We're arguing about the same things.
Truth is forever. Right is a moment. Truth leads people down a road that they can't redirect. Right
Right may not be the good one.
allows
the
you
best
to
word.
spare an innocent child. Right allows you to
Have you ever heard the term might makes
change-
right?
what?
Have you ever heard the term might makes right? It means those who have the might can do what they feel is right, to her point. Like she
I
said,
fear we're going to argue semantics on this, so
Yeah.
perhaps one of us should change our phrasing.
trying to find the word for it.
It seems we're seeking the same things
Veers
with different words.
steps forward to Eric. I think when she says that she's seeking truth, it's about seeing the world as it is. It's about finding what is. What you do with truth is what makes a person just or not. Truth and our reactions to it can be just and they can be unjust, depending entirely.
So what do you wish to do with the truth?
I wish to...
Hey.
I was like, where is it? Where is it coming?
I know. Sorry. I want to find the source of the curse. I want to put it into it. I want to bring my friends back from wherever they disappeared to. I want to do something.
Are you ready for the cost that it's going to take?
The most true answer I have for that is I don't know.
You just said something I don't think we knew about you. Your reason for coming with us. You have friends that are missing?
The wizards, they fled.
So you want
The
to
new
find them.
administration is not very kind to them.
And yet you hold reverence for what is the world with them in it.
I said this the first time you met me, and there is no choice but to make do with what exists in the world as we know it. You have to play by some of the rules in order to get what you want.
She's had to deal with it for 2 years.
I just hope that we don't go around making enemies of every single person we meet that's aligned with the Vanguard.
I feel like I've made friends with people in the Vanguard. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe we should make it a habit of not exactly speaking our minds. Several people within this group have a nasty habit of doing it. It costs nothing to keep your mouths shut.
I love that idea, and I love nothing more than talking.
It's easier when you can share whatever you think.
And when the things you share leave us exposed and near on death's door, I want you to hold to that mentality and see where it gets you.
Are you speaking directly or are you broadcasting to the group?
Broadcasting.
Okay.
I've seen what that naivete does. It's not pretty. Keep your thoughts close to the chest. When the moment comes to reveal your hand, show it. Until then, no one knows what our objective is except for us.
Veers turns to you. She's speaking of herself. You've seen some of her past and her experience. I don't know that being absolute of it all the time is always the correct path. But I think that there is wisdom in playing our cards close.
We have already exposed one family to what we know and what we can do. And now we've exposed ourselves to a guild. Foolishly, naively.
Do you think we could go about every single town and not reveal ourselves? That's naivete.
Well, with that attitude.
We're not.
Sometimes the truth does not need to be told. Saying nothing isn't lying.
And Veers kind of gives a half chuckle at this. This is the same debate you and I have been having for the past 5 years. There's always a balance. I know you're much more comfortable in the wilds. But we have an objective. I think we need to use them to get to that objective.
I think that objective starts with eliminating the Thundering Irons.
Oh, I took great joy in that thought every single night.
The good news is, based on what we hear from our friend, the captain of the detectors, we won't have that much opposition in that.
I only have one consultation. Do not get in my way when the time comes for me to seek what I've been seeking for years.
I don't think I'd be able to if I wanted to.
Good. I won't say it again. This was a warning.
No warning is needed. I made you a promise.
A pact, specifically.
And there's actually a touch, almost a tingling of that in both of your hands.
Pact or not, I once viewed it as owing you, and now view it as protecting. Certainly isn't the word.
How strong is your stomach, witch?
I'm not going to answer that. I'm just going to laugh.
I think maybe a lot of us could do with a party.
Yes,
Can't
let's. I'm just gonna shove everyone up the stairs.
So we start moving. Veers will actually take the lead this time, and as you approach Vath toward the top of the stairs, who's kind of standing, leaning against the door, just you can tell, like looking down, was waiting for you, but doesn't give any appearance of having been trying to eavesdrop.
Of course, you're welcome to respond, but because you linked earlier to say something, correct? Mm-hmm. I link back.
So hers is a portion of her race. She can speak outward, but
not
One-way
as
street.
Okay, then walking upstairs, I still, like, as people are starting to walk by, I, in my loss of words, say, like helping a sister. And then continue to walk. Mm. Unless she says anything, then I stay her turn.
So Veers gets the top of her Vath, sort of leaning against the door. Again, kind of watching down for you all, but doesn't appear to be making any effort specifically to eavesdrop.
Insight check. Or perception check.
Yeah, I want to do one too.
Sure.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Of
What?
course, I don't
Jesus
trust any of them.
We're rolling for perception.
Natural 20.
So whatever
two.
your modifier is, double the modifier and give you that number.
In insight,
Yeah.
24.
21.
Inside or what? Insight?
Yeah,
Insight.
insight.
So 21.
I'm not gonna roll because I
Twinsies.
don't care.
I only got a 14.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Because those were very high rolls. Vath is very poised. He is very controlled of his emotions, his mannerisms. He doesn't give a lot away. But for a split second, a couple of you notice just a slight curve of a smirk on his face as you come up.
He's been listening.
I say to the whole group.
He's been what?
Listening.
So, Veers does go ahead first. Thank you for waiting. And Vath kind of nods. As he opens the door, as I said before, Akhtar is there, and Vath approaches him, just kind of nods for a second. He nods back, and Akhtar turns to leave the guild.
Do you think that we're compromised?
Wouldn't hurt to believe so.
Well, Veers kind of says, let's discuss it elsewhere. But as you approach over back to where Stuart was. Yeah.
Is he done yet?
So he is done. You guys spent a decent amount of time doing the various tests and then a decent amount of time talking as well. So he has gone through all of the items, which will take me a second to get pulled up here. So, and Vath does come over to the table with you all. So you knew about the magic detection one, the pyrotechnics. The saddle is saddle of the Cavalier.
Oh, jeez.
Basically,
Are these so good?
if you have a mount, it makes it so you can't be unmounted against your will.
Oh.
So it must be on a creature.
Does it work for only creatures?
It's a mount. So you'd have to have a horse or something that
Damn it, it won't work on the broom.
you're riding. Yeah, well, wouldn't work.
Oh,
for
you were thinking of the broom.
I was thinking of the broom.
I was
would not
thinking
work
of
for
something
the-
else.
I mean, I'll get on all fours, but
Paladins, however, if I recall correctly, do have
Horsemanship?
a summon mount spell.
Listen, it's the alcohol.
I don't think I have it equipped, but I'll take a look and see.
So that would be a possibility for you.
Listen, when someone says you can't unmount,
Can't be involuntarily dismounted.
I can't help it.
sounds like cat sex or duck sex.
He holds up the two. He holds up the two stones. These are sending stones.
Both are.
Yeah. It's a rock.
It's not just a rock.
Pioneers.
Takes the potion. This is a potion of Hill Giant strength,
Oh.
and then the scimitar he lays out. And this is a +1 scimitar. Vath turns to you all. You are welcome to keep any of the items that you like. If there are any that you do not want, I can see about getting you a reasonable price for their purchase.
I'm grabbing the wands and the sending stone.
What'd you say those wands did?
Here. I give you the wand of pyrotechnics. And that it just shoots fireworks.
Are we sure that's a good idea?
Zav definitely
No.
grabs the potion of Hill Giant strength.
Okay.
Eric definitely has a moment with the wand of fireworks where it's like Harry Potter and it glows in his hand and wind blows in his face. Are we inside or outside in this moment?
You're still in the guild hall, but in sort of the main area where there's a sort of side desk where Stuart is.
Am I able to discern if I can control the size of the fireworks?
So.
Do you can't, sending? I'm taking that thing from you. Huh?
Do you have this spell sending? I don't know if it's a sorcerer spell or not. Or if you would have taken.
Like if I just want to make some small fireworks, am I able to do that? Or do I know?
Well then.
Oh, sorry.
I do not.
Okay. A harmless burst of multicolored light.
So yeah, harmless burst of multicolored light at a point you can see up to 60 feet away. The burst of light is accompanied by crackling noise that can be heard up to 300 feet.
Up to.
No.
That's his sending stuff.
Can I make tiny fireworks? Up to.
I'm gonna say the burst from this is not a controllable size kind of thing. It's basically your standard sort of like firework size. It's not harmful, it doesn't hurt anything, but if you do decide to test it, because you don't get a sense of
Eric tests it.
What this is. So you hand him the wand. You immediately turn any particular direction, or
I would say that I'm like trying to face a wall or a corner of some kind. Like I'm testing it on my own.
Okay, so you hand him the wand, and you're kind of like, "Ooh, cool!" And you turn toward the wall, and sort of like, okay, right before the wall.
I really quietly go, "The Fateful Eight,"
and there's this like, boom, and the whole room just kind of erupts in this sound and lights.
No. Can I
Stealth, just shove it in my pocket and act like nothing happened.
Can I literally just like have my hand out and make him give me the wand?
Okay. Sorry, were you reaching for it?
Yeah, and if he doesn't give it to me, I'm gonna cast Charm Person on him and get it from him.
So I'm gonna say, athletics to try to grab it. Athletics or acrobatics to try to not let her take it from you. So these are contested.
I'll use my athletics to flip it into my back pocket and act like I don't have anything in my hand at all. With somersault.
Well, that would be acrobatics if you're throwing the somersault in there. If you're trying to sort of like dodge away from her, that would be more.
Okay,
right,
just
right.
athletics, yeah.
So.
I don't think that I
Polite.
would. I don't think that I would see him starting to somersault and then still try to grab it. I think I would immediately go to a spell.
Okay, so you're not even gonna roll.
No.
Check. Okay.
If it's a matter of athletics or acrobatics, I am trying to use my athletics. I was trying to justify. Yeah,
Either way, I don't think that I'm gonna try. And if I see you trying to run away or like snatch it, I think I'm just gonna try and cast Charm Person on you.
Okay.
So, as all of this is happening, there are a couple guards who suddenly like go to their swords. They haven't drawn them, but they're like, what happened? Vath kind of turns, like puts his hands up. It's like inside, and you are casting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it comes from my glasses, so maybe they like change color.
Is that one that he can't
little
save
bit.
against?
A wisdom save, and it's
You get
not
+3 on your wisdom save,
not
sir.
a super high.
On top of my normal?
On top of
but-
your normal, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I won't have had time to get out my harp, so I can't give you disadvantage.
What
Well,
is
then that one.
Are you serious? Oh no! Oh no!
I thought
Plus
maybe
5 is 6.
I thought maybe you were
still
smarter than
one.
that. Give me the wand back. Unless you're immune to being charmed. No, just magically sleep.
No.
But guess who is immune to being charmed?
I have advantage against being charmed.
Okay, so you can roll again.
What'd you do?
I have advantage against being charmed.
Oh, okay.
As a half elf, I think.
Gotcha.
Well, 8 plus 5, 12? Nope, 13.
13. The save is a 13, so I think he passes.
Meets a beats it, you know, so he would save.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
So far. Get used to it. And I touch her on the shoulder.
Oh, God. No. It's begun.
Sorry. In person. May I touch you on the shoulder? Ooh. Eric saunters up,
There we
places
go.
his hand on your
Yes.
shoulder and says, dumbest thing you've seen so far.
Vath steps up and says, put that away, or I'm not going to stop them, and points toward the guards.
Excuse me. Meant no ill intent.
And Vath kind of turns over and nods to the guards who go back to their post.
To Dahlia, this is a sending stone. It will allow you to contact the other sending stone once per day. I think no matter where you are, or is it just on the same plane of
as long as you're on the
existence?
same plane.
As long as you're on the same plane. You seem responsible enough to handle it. Would you like the other one?
Let's give it to Zav.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Smart.
Surprise! He's gonna love it.
I'll take the saddle.
Okay.
And I will get my fine steed. And I'm going to name it
Steve.
Roach.
Steve the Steve.
Scuba steed?
And your friend Steve.
Steve bought
Steve.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did that.
Fuck. Can't believe you done this. What? Can't, like, Henry? Oh. With the wand?
I can't believe they used the captain inside. It's really
I thought he was going to wait until the party to do it. That's what I was waiting for, was the party.
I thought maybe I could control it, and I wanted to see if
This is
just
why
test
It's
it
the
out.
consequences of my actions.
I do hate those.
Consequences.
Veers,
My actions.
Veers goes in and picks up the scimitar and walks over to Anna.
Yeah.
Might be nice to have a spare.
It might be nice.
Right.
It might be nice.
We are stuck in musical mode tonight.
Sorry.
Y'all need to listen to Maybe Happy Ending. It is so
Oh,
good.
it's so good.
So good.
That's fine.
I feel you.
Okay. So that's very well. Hopefully the items serve you well in your quests ahead.
Do I get my sword back too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sort of.
You look like you were having an existential crisis. Just
I was just role playing as
And also,
having seen this happen.
Veers realizes he needs it, so he gets his sword checked as well because Veers had magical item sword as well as Eric will need to get his axe and short sword checked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, no concerns to report on this, and hands you back the sword. I think those are all the magical items, except for your harp, which has already been.
Yeah, I would have registered that. No
registered.
way that's getting around it.
Yeah.
And my glasses.
Stuart does turn to you. Did he tell you about the dagger that you had?
No.
Did it ever speak to you?
No.
I'm going to answer no to that.
And Vath kind of, Stuart, what did I tell you about sharing too much? Sorry. Just, it had a sentience, and I wasn't sure if it ever actually said anything to her. It's like, again, sharing too much. Thank you.
May I ask what you did with the dagger?
All of the cursed items are kept under lock and key to make sure that they don't fall into the wrong hands.
Where?
That is not public information.
The capital.
For the safety of people, we try to keep the cursed items locked away so that no one can accidentally gain access to them again.
In reach of Marvalo and his army.
Subtle. Just kind of be like, subtle.
It's not quite as simple as that. We're not shipping cursed items across the land.
Well, this has been fun.
Party?
Let's go rest before this party in our
Little
honor.
nap before.
I, for one, can't wait to see what the mayor's come up with in 4 hours.
I'm sure he's worked the town to death.
So, takes about another, because it's 3 items, about another half an hour for Stuart to work through the 2 blades from yours and the one from Veer's. But are you returning to the inn? Are you headed toward?
I'm gonna leave it up to Zap. Well, I guess Zap's not here, so.
Do we have an open door? Have we opened our door today? To our inn?
We have not opened it.
Veer's also like conversations elsewhere. Like unless you guys have left when you're selling.
Fair enough. Sorry. Where shall we go? Should we?
I mean, I imagine the party's going to be at the inn, so maybe we can just go rest at the inn in the room that was provided for us.
That makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
So you make your way
There we go.
through the town over to
Walking fast.
the inn.
We're a seagull.
Go fuck yourself.
And he's still got a wand of fireworks.
Fuck.
You know what? He'll jubilee at the right time. It's okay.
I get it.
You get it. It's an X-Men character.
Oh, you're all back.
I did just for the cartoon.
Successful outing then.
You could call it that.
What's her name?
Wow.
I know it.
Sorry.
Please tell me you said that out loud.
He's just like, what's her name? I don't know.
That's exactly what I'm seeing here. So there's Amira and there's Kayla.
Who is talking to us?
That was Amira. That was
I was gonna say
the
Amira's-
older woman who's the...
Oh, that was the older woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amira, your hottest cup of brown, please.
Oh, as you like.
And your frothiest cup of ale.
Right. As you like. Goes behind the counter and pulls out 2 basically the same things of ale and kind of like mixes a little bit, and then like swirls one to make it a little more frothy.
Oh, do not have any energy lifting beverages. When I say hot brown, I thought you might have a tea of root with caffeinated.
Oh, sorry. I've never heard you called that before. Just a moment.
It's a Feywild thing.
That's a fail.
And she kind of she turns to go back for like a kettle, and like as she turns, she kind of pauses and looks back at you for a second. Right, and then turns back to take care of the kettle. It'll be a few minutes.
All right.
You're gonna just give that information up for free?
They like us here.
First off, it's not even a Feywild thing.
Well,
She would know.
God.
I can get it at the moving in, but I can't.
Moving in.
Shut up, Eric.
Baba Yaga's brew.
He just wants a coffee and a beer, okay?
Okay. So she does make you, it is a root.
It's a Feywild thing, he says. So chill after we just talked about it. I'm sorry. It's so funny. It's so funny.
They like me here. I've told them we're undercover. It's cool.
So, for the rest of you,
It's cool.
Amira does offer up sort of a warm
We saved her daughter.
She plays it cool.
So there are a few people within the bar, the inn here. So you could kind of try to have whispers if there was any more conversation that you wanted to have here, or...
Did she give food to just him or to all of us?
No, she offers meals to everyone.
I'm going to take my meal and go up to the room
Where are you going?
to sit in quiet before this party.
This
To
is
compose myself.
the pregame before the party.
Oh my god.
You have fun.
I'm staying here.
I'm just in character like,
So I'm going to go upstairs with my
All
friend.
right, so you're heading upstairs.
Ales?
Eric is there. What are the rest of you doing?
going
You're following Red? Or
well,
you
not like that, but
you're going upstairs?
Yes.
Are you going upstairs to the same room, or are you asking for another room?
I'm going for a different one.
Okay. So you would need to request a room from Amira or Kayla.
May I?
Oh, God! Right, I forgot. Hi.
Room.
We have one.
Different.
It's paid for.
She's got her own money.
And she's like, we've been needing it for the night, so just looking for a bit of quiet. Okay. Yes, Mom. Get her the key to room 6. Well, turn it over once she's done. But oh, of course. And brings over a key and gives you the key. It's a single, so when you go up, it's just sort of on the with the idea that like you're not staying here overnight, so they're not going to charge you for it. They're just sort of letting you use the space.
I toss up gold
Oh.
and just take my key and just fuck off. Walking under people's legs, just going away.
Yeah. So you
Going away.
So is she keeping the room for the... And Veer sort of just shrugs.
You're just like, I don't fucking know that one anymore.
She's in a mood.
So he says to me, I'll go get her in a little bit once the party starts, and we'll go from there.
That's good.
So, Florence,
I rolled a 30 on a performance check to stay chill. So I'm going to say...
stay chill.
Yeah.
Do I fucking lose it, or do I keep my composure?
Or
Right.
not? I
So-
got a 30, so I stay okay.
It is like the edge of panic attack in your mind of like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into?
Yes,
These
exactly.
people are fucking crazy, but just poised perfectly, like outwardly, there is no sense
Yep.
of
For whatever reason, I just envisioning her character just taking shots and then, let's fucking lose it, little John. Get out of your mind, playing for the party.
Actually, that's exactly what happens. I ask for a shot, and then I make eye contact with Eric. I get one for him too. And I say, let's party.
Oh, God.
And I'm staying here.
Cheers to that.
Go up. I need some quiet.
okay. So the joint room Red has, or are you going to knock on the door over there? So you're heading up to where Red is? Or are you knocking on the door with Anna?
I'm probably just gonna.
Okay.
I'm not. No. She'd
on in.
probably kick me out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Zav decides, I'm going to go check in with Mom and Pa real quick, let them know that the town's throwing another party for me, which I'm sure they'll be thrilled about.
Another?
I'll be the one tonight.
There was another party?
They threw a party for us when we came back after. Yes, this one tonight is the second one.
Oh.
I'll be back. And turns and goes. Veers kind of heads. He stays downstairs, just sort of keeping watch a little bit, but kind of heads off to his own corner just to sort of sit for a few minutes. So, any conversations, anything people want to have before we move forward?
Nope.
Okay. So,
I'm just supervising.
yeah. Super.
Have a conversation with me.
I love it. Okay.
Have I ever told you about the time that I talked to a tree?
Cannot hold his liquor at all.
I love this so fucking much, and I hate it all the same.
We haven't even gotten to the party
I
yet.
know, that's the problem.
Maybe we should stop before the party.
No! How dare you even suggest?
Okay, so
Scarred.
you were doing the tests and everything for an hour and change, then another half hour or so getting the rest of the weapons checked, and some conversations. At the inn, I would say it was about another hour and a half to 2 that you have your meal, take sort of a respite and everything. Sort of continue light conversations. Sorry. All of a sudden, just
No, I've been watching Pink having some fun on the.
Yeah, they really like that cat tower. So, let me actually first off come here. Let's miss this. Throw that down. Oh, no, that's not working. Come on, full down. Give me everything, please. There we go. And... Oh, you alright?
Yeah. Just the top one.
Missed the step there.
It's okay, Alphonse. He was on the tower.
No, Alphonse is right there. Bing was on the tower.
It's okay, Ping. It's okay, buddy. He's like, oh, someone died. I didn't do it. It's okay, baby. Oh.
Evening comes,
All the way.
and you start to hear playing outside the doors of the inn. There's sort of a makeshift stage that's been set up outside, and a banner that is been very hastily scrawled, return of the, and you can see that someone started to write out
Fateful.
Fateful, and then like cross it out Fates. The band, as you step out, there's a halfling bard performer who leads a decent sized band, striking up the music.
Is it the same one that Eric was telling that he sucks earlier?
Might have been.
Wow.
Maybe.
So the halfling sort of lead seems to be playing a lute. There's an older male human on drums. There is a younger female halfling on a lyre, a male silver dragonborn on a dulcimer, and a female half-elf playing a pan flute.
Cool.
So, as you all sort of step out of the inn, you hear from the stage, "Ah, our guests of honor," and you see the mayor standing up on stage. "Returned once again to us to save us for a second time from the scourge of the evil that's been scouring our lands. Everybody, a rise of cheer for the fates!"
And there was no rejoicing.
Yeah.
Yay.
And there are some cheers from the crowd, and some people sort of come up to you and thank you and congratulate on the job of taking care of the djinn.
The Fates! Throwing the wand up in the air.
So, as you do this, there again, there's a burst of light kind of from it, and everyone around you kind of like steps back for a second and watches it. I'm like, what on earth? And then poof, like up in the air. And they're all just kind of staring, like, and there's, the crowd actually goes silent, the music actually stops for a split second. And there's like, yeah! And the music kicks back up again and plays.
At least it was
I'm
outside
gonna walk
this time.
over to Eric. We're gonna be like, Eric, and then I'm gonna try and use my persuasion here.
Okay.
Would you kindly please let me take that wand just for tonight? I'll give it back to you in the morning.
What is what would be
So-
the opposite of persuasion?
So, how to put this?
Yeah, what? Oh, sorry, contested roll against persuasion.
Usually it's, I don't know.
Oh.
So, you don't want to give this wand up. I will say you roll a wisdom save with advantage. And
Advantage even though he's drunk?
he's had a couple drinks, but he's not like falling over himself.
Still not good.
So yeah, what was the persuasion?
22.
Okay.
You get the one.
So
9.
you're like,
That's my
I
total.
don't really want to give this to him. But
I grab another shot off of the bar and I'm like, I'll trade you.
there is something
Fire a couple up, buddy.
there is something kind of convincing about this for me. Yeah.
Just gonna put that away.
Probably a good idea.
So
And I turn around and go, "The Fateful Eight!" and I fire bolts up in the
yeah! So and the people are actually kind of getting into this now. It's like we're not really sure what's happening, but there's colors and
This is what
fire.
I did last
and-
time I was in Springbrook.
Yeah, and they're into it. Florence, as you kind of step out, the band members do kind of take notice of you just because you have. I assume you still have the over your shoulder. Another bard? Do we have?
I'm just here to watch today.
Well, if you would like to join in, feel free. But otherwise, enjoy yourself. And they continue playing. Veers does kind of walk over to the rest of you before you kind of split up and everything. Says, I'm going to be away for just a little bit. It's a good time for me to touch base with my group, but I'll be back shortly. So he's going to fuck off and find his people.
He's gonna transform into a centipede.
Yeah. He kind of backs away into the crowd, and after a few moments, you just don't see him at all anymore.
We still trust him?
Yeah, with our lives.
Where does he go?
To do secret.
To do roguelike things? I don't know.
Do we trust her?
Anna just sighs and just walks away.
To do secret assassin-y type things. Oh my god.
Then skits of bottles. Just fucking hell.
I'll say to her, the brief time I've known Veers, he seems to have genuine curiosity and need to know about what's going on. So I'm sure he's investigating for us and to ensure our safety going forward.
He literally holds us to get there. Like to think I blip out and blip back in.
Oh my god.
He does seem like the most reasonable of you all. I'm not that excited that he's leaving. But I think we're gonna be together for a while. So,
Here!
here!
So, Zav has moved into the crowd and everything from this. You see him actually over with Vren, a little ways away. And as you're watching, there are two younger women who approach over toward him and start conversing with them. Are any of you trying to listen in?
To the women talking to Zav?
Yeah.
Nope.
Zav and Vren.
Oh, Zav and Bren.
Do I perceive it, I guess?
You notice him like through the crowd a little ways, but there's some noise, so you have to probably maneuver a little bit closer and everything to try to listen in.
Can I roll insight on like what seems to be the general vibe of the conversation from a distance? You know what I mean? Like, does it seem business? Does it seem casual? Does it seem flirty? Does it seem...
seems a little flirty.
Eric's moving in.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the barkeep and ask for a prune juice, and I'm going to go sit and listen to the music.
Okay.
Anna's just keeping an eye, seeing if she can find any familiar faces that she needs to.
Okay. Do a perception check for me.
Yes. Murder. No murder.
Yeah, do you have your insight? Or no, you already used it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's a 16.
Okay. So, Eric, as you get over like a little bit closer to them, you kind of hear, "You've saved our town twice now," and there's definitely sort of a flirty nature going on to this conversation. And Ren kind of leans forward. "Ladies, I'm sorry. You're barking up the wrong tree here." And Zav kind of like turns toward Ren for a moment, then back to them. Is like, "I'm afraid she's right. Though I'm very flattered. Thank you."
Gay!
You might have some more luck with some of the other companions of the Fates. And one of the girls you overhear is like, "There was that older guy." And the second girl's like,
This one?
The older one? Really? It's like, "Oh, honey, have you not been with an older man?" And she kind of like turns and starts sauntering away, looking for Red through the crowd.
I was always like looking for Eric.
Nope.
It's not the older one.
Nope.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I'll maybe go talk to some of the others, and the other girl sort of meanders away a little bit. Red.
Incredible.
Oh boy.
A few minutes after going, you said prune juice?
Prune juice, yeah.
All right.
I'm not getting drunk tonight.
A few minutes after getting your prune juice,
Yep.
a girl in probably around her mid-20s or so, long dark hair, comes over.
I was thinking, I don't think they have cranberry juice in here, or else I would have gotten that. So,
You're one of them, right?
one of what?
The Fates, the group who.
I guess you could say that. Yes.
Well, I just wanted to let you know how thankful we all are for all of your efforts.
Trust me, it's no need to thank me. It's what I do for a living.
See, it's quite the armor you've got. Is it difficult carrying that around all the time?
Do you get used to it?
The napkin.
It's like,
It must get uncomfortable. She kind of like walks around you a little bit and like lets her hand like stroke across the back of the armor slightly.
God.
Your muscles must get so sore carrying this.
You know, paladins. I gotta roll some.
Roll for Riz.
Not roll for it.
do I do this?
Do you want to?
I want to roll to just be. Just like her. I want to be calm and collected.
Yeah.
when I do this.
So roll perception.
Roll a
for me.
perception.
And Red roll.
Performance or
For performance, yeah.
Performance. Okay.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
I would like to help him. Maybe I can cast like minor illusion and.
Well, I'm
make
gonna have to use my
something glow or
insight on this
something.
because I totally rolled horribly. So, all right, inspiration be my savior. That's a little bit better. Where's my performance? So 18.
18. So yeah, no, you're very stoic. You've got your prune juice. You're just you're having a lovely evening. Like inside your head, you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my gosh, paying attention.
Get the fuck away from me.
So, but she takes this stoicism for non-reputation. So she is pursuing, and without getting any negative signs, she's going to continue pursuing.
Okay. I will just continue to have a polite conversation. If she tries to engage me physically, as far as like near my face or come in super close, I will then possibly do something.
Okay. So, can I sit with you? And she sits down, like, the chairs are, like, kind of corner at the table, so she's close enough to still, like, be able to, like, have contact with you in the armor a little bit. You know, she's not reaching for your face. It's more the arm and gauntlets and that kind of stuff. And your muscles must get so tense carrying all this around.
Jesus Christ.
I can help with that if you like.
Thank you for the offer, but I'm fine.
Well, if it's okay, I'd like to sit and just maybe enjoy your company for a bit. Hopefully you'll enjoy mine. And she kind of twists her hair a little bit. And...
I'm trying to think what I want to do. I will finish my drink.
Here's prune juice.
Yeah.
And he has to go to the bathroom.
I have to poop.
Very well. I will return. However, I have to go use the loo.
Unless Blumpkin. What?
I'll be waiting.
Never mind.
And she sort of like sits back in the chair a little bit. As she sits back, make an insight check.
An insight check? Okay. 12?
12. As she sits back, there's a strap from the bosses he's wearing. Just the way that she sits or whatever, it seems to like edge off just the side of the shoulder just slightly. But that's it.
Okay.
So you head off to that. Jumping from that, Dahlia.
Yeah.
Did you see the situation with Zav, or were you elsewhere?
I kind of saw it from a distance, but I don't.
But you didn't go to investigate. You just saw it. Okay. About 15 minutes later or so, you saw that there were two girls talking with Zav. One of them comes over to you.
It's really awkward.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Susie. She's a bit younger. She's probably like late teens or so.
Okay.
It's like I just wanted to say thank you. Things have been so stressful here ever since the latest attacks, and knowing that there are people out there, it's really nice, and it's and she kind of leans in, she's like, it's nice knowing that there are women out doing this and adventuring and taking care of these creatures. It makes me feel like maybe I can do something someday.
Thank you.
So you do get through the conversation. There's a little bit of like playfulness in it, but there's also this awkwardness of she's not used to this sort of interaction. But she's sort of enjoying talking to you. She's a little bit starstruck because to you now, or to her now, you all are sort of heroes of this town. And over the next few minutes, she starts kind of ramble talking a little bit about like how she'd like to get into adventuring and thinks it would be really exciting and that kind of stuff. And then she gets a little melancholic with all of it. And eventually it kind of comes out that she lost a brother to some of the monsters that were attacking many, not specifically the djinn, but from early on in some of the attacks. And that's part of why she's focusing on the possibility of becoming an adventurer herself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so how did you become an adventurer? How did you get into it?
Well, it's kind of a long story. Didn't always start out that way. I was kind of thrown into it.
Really?
Yeah.
And she kind of looks around a little bit. It's like, do you have a little time? Could you tell me the story?
Sure.
And she kind of puts her hands out for you to take.
I don't need to take your hands. We can just go simply walk somewhere.
Sorry, just I want to show you. So she kind of starts heading through the town a little bit, just slightly away from the party and like all of the lights and everything. And
I don't know if I like this now.
Never go to a second location.
Before we get too far away, can I
Yeah.
be like, why are we going away from the party?
There's a spot where I like to sit and look up at the stars. It's a lot clearer.
I don't feel comfortable being quite as far away from my team.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we can just stay here and talk. I just wanted to talk.
Is there any way I can make like some sort of a check?
You could do an insight check on
Okay.
it.
Like, I don't like where this is going. Okay. I am using my inspiration because that was not good. Oh my god. 19.
19. You don't get any sense of malice from this person. She's awkward and stuttering a little bit, but it seems like genuinely she just wants to talk, and wanting to get away from the crowds was more of a sense of having the ability to talk without shouting at each other.
Okay.
So.
Still don't want to be too far away.
Okay. So.
Don't trust.
Let me.
I don't trust it.
No, she gets no insight at all.
Yeah. Just don't.
So she's kind of looking at you. She's not really sure what to do. She knows that she kind of just has to take you at your word. She's like, the place I normally go is just another block down, but like we could just sit here if you
Why don't
want.
we just sit right here?
Okay.
It's not that I don't trust. I just
Don't trust.
don't trust.
Yeah, I understand. It must be. You must have to watch out for things all the time. So
I've had to watch out for things my entire life.
it's a little sad, actually.
Maybe a little. But I think that's how I've grown to be so strong.
And she kind of moves, kind of listening to you very intently, but kind of backs over to just a section where there are some hay bales and whatnot, and sits down and kind of gestures. Is this okay? Can we sit here?
That's fine.
It's like, it's a little bit harder to see here because there's still all the lights from the party and everything, but I really do love the sky out here at night. And this is an interesting thing for you because having grown up in the Feywild, it's perpetual twilight. You've never seen night like this before. And the night that you guys had before, you kind of caught a glimpse of it just sort of walking around. You're aware of what night is. But to suddenly just sit in the slightly cooler air with this like wafting music just a little ways behind you and look up and see these little like twinkles of the stars and lights in the sky. There's something vast and wonderful about all of this, and very new, but just there's this tickling hint in the back of your mind of familiarity.
Oh yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Florence.
Interesting.
You, as you're sort of paying attention with stuff that's happening with Red and everything else, you hear a slight shift in the music with the band, and kind of glance over the head of the band, the halfling leader. It's sort of like waving, like swinging his finger or whatever, and then like puts his lute over his shoulder for a second, hops off the stage, and starts making his way through the crowd. Anna. You're looking around through the crowds. You haven't spotted any faces that you find familiar. But at some point while doing this, you hear from behind you, "Oh, hey, you're super cute. What do you say you and I get out of here and find some place to get a little more comfortable together?"
Yes!
Oh my god.
Halfling bard.
Fucking punch it.
And you turn around,
Punch if he's lucky.
and there is this shirtless Goliath that had walked up behind you. And he's
Nani the fuck?
kind of looking down at you with this like shit-eating grin, like the douchiest of Jim Bro.
How does he think this is gonna work? It's like a banana and a hamster. It doesn't.
You've seen that picture then.
Yes, I have.
And he kind of looks at you, and he actually does the pec flex.
Oh
like,
my
back and
god,
forth.
the titty dance?
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh god, she's fucking.
Is he drunk?
Make an insight check.
15.
15. He's definitely been drinking.
He's wet. Sorry, I banged my knee.
He has definitely been drinking.
Okay, cool. Hold on a second. Fuck.
It was
This is what
right
it
into
looks
my-
like.
Yeah, that picture you.
Yep.
Are those the Davenports?
No, so it's the guy who played the Mountain on Game of Thrones and his wife. So he's like 6'8" or something, and she's like 5 foot or something. So like, yeah. So she's like a tiny little thing, and he's just huge. So, yeah.
Super quick glance. It did kind of look like Renee and... Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna say you kind of turn back and like you're actually a little stunned by the abruptness and stupidity of this being, and as you're thinking of how to respond, from behind him you actually see this bard who is leading the band leap into the air, and there's "kung" as he cracks this Goliath on the back of his head with his lute. And knocks him to the ground. "Gorg, can't you tell when someone's not interested?" And he goes over and kicks the Goliath on the ground a couple times. The Goliath is just sort of sitting there holding his head. "Leave it alone and go find a barrel of ale to drown yourself in." And this Goliath kind of like maneuvers himself slightly away and starts trying to crawl away a little bit. The bard turns to you. "I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sure you could have handled him, but his attitude just pisses me off. I swear he fetishizes our kind. He's been after me more than once before as well."
1 second.
Yeah.
In the whole time that this transpired, how much time do you think has passed?
From the first interaction with Gorg, matter of seconds, like 15, 20 seconds-ish.
The moment I see the hey, or I hear the hey, and just look over, I'm casting chaos right now.
Amazing.
Okay.
It takes a minute.
Oh, it's like a
GE. Yeah, that is.
tell them what to do. It's very cool.
Okay. So this does have a verbal component. That's a weird one how to do for you, because you would have started sort of mumbling slightly under your breath,
But it's also a party. It's loud.
yeah. Roll stealth just to see if you can sort of do this without being noticed.
That's a 22.
Okay. So the Goliath definitely doesn't notice you. He gets clocked, is on the ground, he just sort of like starts crawling away and then like gets up and he's like holding his head and walking away from you 30 seconds, 40 seconds or so. The bard does sort of notice that you're mumbling a little bit. It's like, I'm sorry, were you saying something? My apologies. If you want to be left alone, I'll go.
How much time has passed?
So it's about 40 seconds now, but you still have to keep mumbling for the spell.
I'm going to look back at the bard.
Mm-hmm.
Back at the Goliath. Back at the bard.
Oh, my apologies. I'll leave you be. And the bard starts to sort of back
Has it
away.
been a minute?
You're just getting to like the last 10 seconds or so now.
Okay. As he's about to leave, I just
So you grab him like the sleeve or something.
like
Okay. Yes.
just stare intently into his eyes. Has it been a minute?
Are you casting on him or are you casting on the Goliath?
Yeah, I'm casting it.
You're casting on the bard.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
That's different than I thought. Hold on a second. Maybe...
Yeah, I thought you were going to cast it on the...
Yeah, I thought you were casting on the Goliath, so I wasn't checking to see if he noticed. So, yeah, no, you finish up the minute. The bard's just sort of like, I don't, what do you need? Can I help?
I'm gonna whisper into his ear. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. And his eyes go a little wide, and then he...
That spell is so crazy for that. That's amazing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, his eyes go a little wide at first, and as you see the magic sort of like seep through his body, he's like, huh? And kind of...
This lasts for 30 days.
Go do it.
You know what? I think I will.
It takes 5d10 psychic damage.
Here's the
if he
question,
does
though.
anything else.
Does he end up breaking his rib trying to suck his own dick, though? That's my question.
I'm just in no mood for anyone who talks to me.
Where does the bard go? Because if he comes into the bathroom with me, there's going to be some issues.
So the bard walks sort of back through the crowd, heading toward the inn.
Where in the end?
So,
Nearest mirror.
so I was like, you've gone to the bathroom, so you're not able to, like, for the rest of you who are outside, you do see this bard sort of like go through the crowd and walk into the inn, but that's as much as you all see.
Oh, I guess the show is starting.
I noticed the bard, right? I would have seen this in exchange.
So you saw the bard come down. If you would like, I'll allow that you would have followed the bard.
Please.
Okay. So you kind of follow the bard. So you got roll perception.
Oh God, I love my life. So much.
I think that's just a 14.
14.
My passive perception is 16.
Yeah, but your stealth was 18. Is that right? I want to say
My stealth was a 22.
22. So you do see the altercation with the Goliath, and then you see the sort of like light interaction between the bard and Anna, and you see the bard kind of like pull back and then turns around and starts walking toward the inn. But you don't know why, and you didn't pick up on Anna saying anything. You did see her sort of like lean in for a second, but that was it.
Okay. Who's gonna walk in on this? That's what I want to know.
Is it going to be in the newspapers?
For 30 days. That he's gonna die. It's gonna kill him.
Nah, he'll be fine.
I'm here for the lulz, baby.
The murderous lulz.
Well, let's just come. Ow, my head.
We go on an adventure, we come back, he's still sucking his own.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh my.
Ow.
Eric.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
Oh, poor Damien who has to listen to this.
About 45 minutes, or a little more beyond.
We're sure you said he can't enjoy it.
As you're going around, and yeah, the band seems to be down one part, but it still sounds like good music and everything.
They're gonna be down one for a while.
Is there one more guy playing?
Yeah, he went somewhere else. I don't know.
Talk to Anna. What the fuck?
You think I should? Yeah, he talked to Anna and then he just kind of left. You should go up there.
No. Up there?
Yeah, you like.
No.
I'm just looking out for the group. Here's your opportunity.
Are you here? What?
Yes.
What did you say?
You're up.
To the stage?
So, as you're kind of having a conversation, Vren comes over to you.
Friend, do you think I have what it takes?
I think they were
to play with the band.
I was more so thinking accompanying the band with pyrotechnics.
Then I'm fairly certain that you would be able to achieve that. Yes. And she, here, I'll walk you over. And she kind of takes your arm to head over toward the stage.
It's necessary.
As you're walking over, she's, it's funny. It was funny. What you said. What you said the other day. But also a little flattering.
Friend.
Don't misconstrue it. I just people assume any temple priest is all pious. Nobody here ever shows any interest. It's fine most of the time, but
You mean you and Zav?
and she bursts out. You've known him for a while, yes?
He's a little drunk.
Yeah, all my life, like 2 weeks.
It was too. Yes. Well, perhaps you haven't been around to see. He's not so into girls. Don't worry your head. I just wanted to thank you because it was nice. It's just nice to know that some still have interest.
I appreciate what you do for this community and what you've done for us. And you are a beauty. My heart, it belongs somewhere else.
She is a very lucky girl. Or boy. Either way. Well, best to you.
I appreciate that.
And she delivers you to sort of the backside of the stage and some steps up if you would like to partake of pyrotechnics for the show. He doesn't have the wand, but he can do some spells.
The Fateful Eight! Pop, 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 pop,
Oh
pop,
my
pop.
god.
I mean, there's a picture of him going like the sky.
Okay. So the party sort of goes on. The crowd is invigorated by the showing of firebolts to the sky. Veers does return probably after about an hour or so. Everything sort of seems well with him. Red, do you ever return from the restroom?
Well, so
Is there a bar?
is there a mirror in the restroom?
A mirror.
Yes.
I'll say yeah. There's it's a little smudged and like warped, but it's like
Okay.
some glasses.
So I'm gonna look at myself in the mirror, and I'm gonna say to
Smudged by the bard.
and I'm gonna say to myself, she kind of wants you. Your wife's dead. Maybe this is a good thing. And then you're like, no, she's half your fucking age, dude.
Oh god. Don't do it.
So I'm just struggling with myself in the bathroom, and eventually,
Struggling with myself in the bathroom is a particular turn of phrase.
I'm struggling with
all been
I'm
there.
struggling with my emotions.
Bards.
I'm in the crying bathroom, okay?
I go
In the bathroom.
Cool.
You know, be more chill, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
I've never seen
I had to.
a less flirty group of people.
Oh, you missed like the first time I tried to flirt with somebody.
yeah.
That was a fun one. So I'm gonna exit, and I'm gonna go back to the bar, and I'm gonna ask the bar to keep Amira or Kira.
Kayla probably.
Kayla, be like, what's the strongest thing you have?
She kind of looks at you and is like, give me a second. And she goes kind of back to the side and comes back with this like very, very clear liquid.
Okay. Does she put it in a glass?
And she pours a shot of it for you.
Okay. Is the bottle sitting there?
Yeah.
I take the bottle.
Oh god. Oh no.
All right.
No.
And I'm going to go find Florence.
Okay.
Just to say, how's everything going? You enjoying yourself? And I'm going to take a swig of this.
How big a swig are you? Is it like a shot swig or are you
Just
taking,
a shot swig, yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing over here?
So the shot swig that you take,
Uh-huh.
I'll say just for a shot. This thing, the moment it touches your mouth, it's like fire. It just burns all the way in the mouth, all the way down the throat, and you can feel like this like rumbling heat in your stomach.
Should I roll like a constitution?
Not yet.
Okay. So it's like fire whiskey.
Sure.
Sure.
So I'll after I take this, woo!
Did you have you found me?
Yeah, I thought
You came over here.
Yeah, I came over to you.
What are you doing with that?
Suppressing my emotions.
Yeah?
Would you like
Because
some?
there's a girl over there talking to you? She's still there.
Is she still there?
Is she still there? She's still there. You better not be talking to me.
You're part of my group. I don't think she would think anything of it.
Do you need a wingman? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
I mean...
I need an unwinged man.
Am I able to stumble into this conversation?
Oh, you need me to go take care of her?
If you want, I just thought I'd come chat with you
You're
since.
just gonna talk. Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
I'll say at the end of the
I'm doing
conversation, you can stumble in.
Okay.
Are you stumbling in? Sorry.
Yeah, if it's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like you've heard pop, 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 pop,
Yeah.
off in the
Eric, you would like this alcohol that he's got.
party.
Oh no.
Party.
I'm going to take another swig, and then I'll hand it over to him.
So the second one, the oddness here is like the first one just like burned all the way going down.
Uh-huh.
The second one, you take the swig and you're not feeling anything now. It's like everything's gone numb until it meets the first one in your stomach.
Okay.
Now make a Constitution save.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
14.
14. So you take the swig, you're kind of standing there for a second, and all of a sudden, your back foot kind of like has to catch you for a second. And you reach out, and you thankfully are able to find the edge of the chair
Okay.
and hold on to it for a second. But there is some kind of like swell occurring in your gut, and you don't feel sick, but like this is hitting you way faster than alcohol usually does.
Okay.
And you gave the bottle to Eric.
Yeah, Eric, you see him somewhere, like, and so were you the one who offered the liquor? Right. Yeah, Florence is like,
I know what it is.
he's having this thing. So you see Red kind of stumble for a second there, holding the bottle out. What would you like to do?
grab it and drink it.
You're gonna grab. How big a drink do you take on your first?
Oh no.
Full mouth, full gulp.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you're going for like double shot, kind of like.
Oh my god.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a Constitution save for me.
You get +3 on the saves.
25.
25.
Okay.
So this, you can feel it burn the same kind of way as it went down for Red. And you're sitting there, but you don't feel like a churning in your stomach, but it does cycle through your system very fast. You feel flush. Both of you find your tongue doesn't quite work entirely correctly.
How did it taste, buddy?
That's one of the best 2 weeks I've ever had in my life.
Damn straight.
And there really isn't much flavor to this. It doesn't taste good, but it doesn't taste bad either. It's just there.
I just feel good.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a floaty sensation.
Float with you awesome?
No.
Come on. You a member of the team?
Forest.
I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna try to sleight of hand not drink it.
Pretend.
Take
Okay.
Oh no!
fake
What if
drink?
Yeah.
You know?
it's a one? You're like, yeah, I love
If it's
this.
anything, yeah.
Do I get an insight to see
have
if she doesn't
good
take
sleight
it?
of hand.
So give it a second. So just slide a hand first.
Okay. That's a 26.
Yeah, you're not gonna. I would say because of the way you're inebriated, you would have had disadvantage on it. You're not going to notice the subtlety. However, what you notice is like the fake swig that you take. There's a plant sort of in the corner that it goes into, and as the clear liquid like hits some of the leaves of it, the leaves start to like shrivel up a little bit.
Oh my god! This is such a good party!
Yeah!
Oh my god!
I'm gonna look over for Dahlia. Dahlia!
Oh god!
Come have some of this!
Oh no.
Oh no, she's busy!
So, yeah, so you were with the other girl for a little while to have a conversation, basically however long that you would like. There probably would have been a point in some of the discussions that she would have gotten like a little weepy for just a minute about her brother, but then mostly it was just talking about like what have you been through, what brought you to adventuring and that kind of stuff. So you're able to leave at any point. We can say that you're coming back at this point, or
Sure.
however you'd like to play it.
Sure. I can probably maybe like slowly walk towards the group and be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Here, and I'm gonna try and grab the bottle from Florence to hand to
Okay.
Dahlia.
Do you let him take
Do you
the bottle?
allow me to grab it from you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so is this a strength check, or how do we want to do this?
So yeah, you would make athletics. You would make either athletics or acrobatics.
Okay, can I have some sort of help for not being as drunk
I
as
was
him?
gonna say you'll roll it at disadvantage.
Sure.
I'm not strong.
Well, I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, thank God.
So Red goes to reach for the bottle, and instead of just reaching, his whole body goes forward and thud hits the floor. So you didn't even like move that much. You were just sort of like shifted slightly, and he just woozled next to you.
Do I take any damage?
How much have they been drinking?
Just this. Don't drink it.
What is it?
Dahlia. Dahlia.
And I'm still having to go, Dahlia.
No. I'm gonna say no.
I think he needed this, though. He seems a little... not okay.
Okay.
At this point, the other girl, the girl actually gets up from the table because she's not blind. Like
Yeah.
she kind of saw you came in and were like talking for a moment, but she assumed you were going to come back, and then like saw the face plant on the floor, and kind of like gathers some of her stuff up and walks past the rest of you.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, have a nice night, and just sort of like heads out.
Oh, thank God.
Because she's like, I'm not going to be babysitting somebody through a hangover.
Yeah, good. Good, it worked.
What worked?
Oh, that's just me saying it, not in character.
Oh, I thought you were saying in character.
No, I'm not in character. I'm just like...
What did I miss?
I'm
So-
gonna go pay for this.
Around this time, there's also makes his way back.
Dang it, we didn't get Anna to drink any.
Yeah, I would say we find Anna in the crowd. Sort of check-ins. Like, I assume you haven't seen anyone. The rest of the group at the end.
If you see a bard wandering around, let me know.
What did you do?
Specify halfling word.
I can't really even explain. You'll have to go and see for yourself.
Anna. You know what? This is tomorrow's problem. And it's like, come on. So heads back, finds the rest of you at the end.
Florence. Having studied at Eregarth, do you ever spend any time in Tullis Harbor?
You definitely have been through Tullis Harbor, but
I'm just laughing. Yeah. Yeah, I have. And she walks away and goes to pay for this thing.
yeah. Kayla's like, I didn't expect him to take the actual bottle.
I'm so sorry, and I give her more money than I need to.
Honestly, it was worth it for the entertainment. So with Veer's returning, so we retire to our room. So heads up, helps Eric.
Have I passed out?
Up the steps. You're not passing out. It's just the whole world has a sort of like wavy effect. And
Do I need to roll for athletics to get up the stairs?
so I was going to say the group is helping you to get up the stairs because the steps seem to be moving.
Fun fact, I've gone upstairs when the stairs are moving before, and I've done it better than going up normal stairs when I'm not drunk. So there.
So the group sort of helps you upstairs. We all retire to the provided inn at White Boar Inn.
Incredible.
The party outside dies down a little bit. A little bit of time
Did the mayor
passes.
not make an appearance at all?
He announced at the beginning.
Oh, he announced at the beginning, but then he didn't talk to us at all or anything like that.
No,
Peace out.
He peaced out.
you can tell he's being sort of ushered around a little bit by the security and everything.
Okay.
And actually having
By the fat guard.
Yeah, the fat guard. Having gone about the town a little bit, the mayor's home is now actually ensconced within its own, like, sort of mini fort inside of this as well.
Oh.
You get the sense this is where a lot of the vanguard is set up. So there's, like, this extra area that is, like, some of the vanguard troops and where they station, but they positioned this all around the mayor's home and have encased that for protection.
What?
Will I have a level
It's
of
very
exhaustion tomorrow?
I would think it's very funny.
What is?
Can you please tell me one point of view of someone seeing that part? Just one point of view, even if it's a stranger. I want to know a passerby's POV. Just want to know.
I mean, the bard is pretty aware of what he's going to go do, and so he's going to find some privacy to go do it.
Eric walks into the bathroom and sees this guy masturbating.
And it is not in the bathroom. He does have his own room here.
Does anyone hear any concerning sounds?
We might get to that later.
Oh no! I love
Oh my god.
Party dies out a little bit and everything, and crowds start to disperse as it gets on into the evening. At one point in the room, everybody make a perception check.
Did everyone make a perception?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is in the group bedroom or the group hall or okay.
Oh.
14.
Saving or straight?
17.
I think it's just straight.
I guess
23.
perception would have to be 22.
Sorry, what was yours?
14.
14. Okay. Yeah, we match. 22 and 23. I'll say the two of you are kind of like over closer to the window, which is why you hear this. And there's this. One of the detectors, actually, you hear outside. There was some magic, I think, over this way. Hold on. And there's some moving, some silence for a second, and then you hear. And person just starts laughing, and then two additional bits of laughter with the detector, which is probably the guards that are coming with them.
Did you hear that?
I did.
What do you think the joke you told him was?
Don't think it was that.
What happened?
There was laughter.
Oh.
But it was odd.
Almost hideous.
And through actually the wall nearby where the that window was, Zabilna, in an astral projection form, walks into the room.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Shit! Mom?
It's not your mom. It's my mom. Just... Mother, what are you doing here?
The Thundering Irons are on the move.
Where? What?
And that's where we'll end.
You mother!
Well, what did you say?
The Thundering Irons are on the move.
Fuck.
They're making their way downtown.
Making the way.
Walking fast, I'm a seagull, go fuck yourself.
Oh my god. That's yes, to go fuck yourself is incredible. Oh my god. How do you have that spell?
I'm a druid. Druids have chaos.
That's amazing.
What's it called?
Chaos. Like code chaos.
Oh, okay.